I don't know.
You should do it.
Is it live?
1 sec. I think we are almost...
What?
Okay, I think we're live.
Is it? Oh my gosh. Hello.
Hello.
This episode. I'm going to start off with talking.
Okay.
Coming up in this episode, it only took 3 or 4 films featuring girls with projectile weapons, but Nerf is finally marketing weapons to girls.
Finally.
Also, Looper, Joe Gofo Show, chases his older self, and I'm going to mute that before it gets really annoying. This episode. No! Stop talking! Joe Gofo Show chases his older self. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, if you're wondering. Time travel. Looper. Also, Batgirl, put your records on. I talk about Gail Simone's Batgirl book. And of course, if you like more singing, come they told me dim sum a dum dum. We went to dim sum. Shenanigans Live starts now. And now I gotta turn the music back on. Girl, put your records on. What is going on? Anyway, 3, 2, 1.
Start recording, start podcasting. It's time for the Shanahanigans Live. Start recording, start podcasting. The Shanahanigans Live. He's gonna draw Shaggy, Six, and Jacks to make people birds of where Shaggy's at. I don't know. Start recording, start podcasting. The Shanahanigans, it's time for the Shanahanigans Live.
Yay! Excellent.
That, of course, was the intro song performed by Uncle Cy, Uncle C, Uncle one of those. How's it going? It's Friday.
It is.
I'm figuring out what I'm doing. How are you?
Good. I am quite well. Thank you for asking. It's actually been a normal week for me. I mean, normal to my standards. I finished my deadline early this week, and I've had so much free time. It's insane. I don't know what to do with myself. It's been lovely.
Excellent. I hope you all had a fantabulous Valentine's Day. I hope you guys all got your discount chocolates.
Yeah.
Go now, man. Like,
Yeah, you know,
the time is
I'm
now.
not seeing a whole lot of stuff. I go there, and it's like the shelves are cleared up.
Yes.
Like they're hiding them for next year. Because that happened at Halloween. I was like, discount Halloween, and then it's like, no way, everybody bought this stuff so quickly. Like, you're hiding this somewhere.
I always find like Easter tends to work better because you get those. Like if you have the Laura C chords, which is quite a few less of them nowadays.
Yes.
But it's like a chocolate shop in Canada, and they have these chocolate gooey egg things. You take a knife, and you eat it.
Those are dangerous.
Yeah, I know, and they're on sale, and it's bad times. But since it is past Valentine's, I figure I could give a little something.
What?
Here's something I picked up for you, because I know you like comics.
I do.
And this is full of romance. This is a She-Hulk edition of this smoochy romance book. So there you go.
She doesn't look like she's enjoying it. The sensational She-Hulk.
It's a sensational She-Hulk.
Moonlight music and
There you go.
machismo?
That looks about right.
Awesome.
Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
That's really sweet. I got you a thing that you already showed on the thing. Yeah.
Oh, hey! Wow, thank you. I always wanted one of these.
And what else? More discount pink things.
Ooh,
oh my god. I just wanted like a box of
amazing.
pink cards. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, I'm glad.
And
What? Speaking of gift giving
I
and
knew
receiving.
that we had this Christmas tree up here still for a reason.
Yes.
I don't know if this is in the chat, but we got Christmas presents.
Yeah.
Which was so excellent. And she was very kind to be like, hey, have you gotten your presents yet? And I was like, huh?
Yeah, long story short, we don't check our mailbox terribly
No,
often.
we have a P.O. box that we set up when we started Silly Kingdom for just in case shipments came back to us or people wanted to send things. So someone had let it run out.
Yes. Wait, who?
It was expired in December.
No one told me.
Yeah. Well, what happened was I went in and I check the box all the time, but it's around the corner. I open it and I see this little cardboard piece in there. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
there's nothing for us in there, and then I'll leave. And this time I was checking it, and Al, the great guy who works behind the table, was like, what box are you checking? He's like, I know you guys. I have something for you guys. And I was like, oh, awesome. And then he was saying your box has been like out of order for 2 months. That's why we put the plastic.
Really? I thought we got like a
cardboard in
year
there.
subscription on it or something.
But I don't know, I guess it ran out. But it's like this cardboard thing like this, whatever. And
Yeah.
it's like, it doesn't say anything on it, but I'm supposed to see it and go,
I'm going to double check
boxes.
that and make sure we got
Expired.
a year subscription or not. Because I thought
Yeah.
we did.
Well, I think it's been a year.
Has it been a
Yeah,
year?
because we started shipping in December. Silly Kingdom.
Oh, maybe.
It's been a whole year since those.
Oh, I guess it has been a year then.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess he was right.
So
Just shut down our box.
I bought another your prescription, but we got a whole box of stuff from Idness.
Oh my god!
Lovely presents.
This one's yours, actually. That one's mine.
Oh, okay.
I get the bigger one.
Yes. So, should we open these now?
Let's put the votes in. What do you guys think? I think it's duct tape, personally.
What do you think this is?
I think it's duct tape.
I think it's a card.
I have a good feeling it's duct tape. Let's find out. Merry Christmas.
Oh, sweet.
Ha! I wasn't too far off.
I got mustache jewelry.
I got mustache duct tape.
Are you serious?
See, I was right.
Totally right.
I was right.
That's amazing.
It was either that or coasters.
Awesome.
That's amazing. I didn't know duct tape came in mustaches.
That is so cool.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Idness.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Idness. Thank
when
you
you
for
watch
the
this episode, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to tape things.
And I will
Excellent.
be sure. I'm actually gonna
just to let you know, if you're just joining us now, you're not watching an old Christmas episode. This is
I just don't
today.
Tree.
This is February 15th.
Yeah. Or after Valentine.
Let's take the tree down now, so we're not confusing people anymore.
Alright, I'll take the tree down.
Oh my goodness.
Put all the pink stuff in the way.
Yeah, where'd that heart go? Put that somewhere. There you go. Frig. Oh my god. Hearts are not meant to stand. How you guys doing? What you been up to? Talk to us so we can talk back. Otherwise, you just have to listen to me ramble for a while.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid.
What did you get up to yesterday?
Dinner.
Nice.
Dinner's always good. We went out, got parfaits type thing.
Parfaits?
It was like a chocolate thing inside strawberry thing. It's really nice.
That sounds delightful.
Good Valentine's had by all.
It was excellent.
But you went off to see Lemony Snicket apparently.
It was so entertaining. It was so weird. So it was a author greeting, I guess, showcase thing for Lemony Snicket, author of A Series of Unfortunate Events and a new book that came out. I forget exactly what it's called. Who's at the Door or something like that. But they give the introduction of him and be like, and he's here. Then suddenly it's like this guy who, he kind of looks like Otho from Beetlejuice, just kind of this bigger dude in a suit.
Oh yeah.
Very grim and serious. And he walks from the back and he's like, I'm so sorry to disappoint you, but Lemony Snicket was in an unfortunate accident, and just all this stuff. And it was actually pretty entertaining. But I remember being really like disappointed, like Lemony Snicket's not here.
He's not
and I'm like, well,
here.
dude, like it's a character, Lemony Snicket. So
yeah.
it's like this is the author who's. So it was pretty much the whole thing was run like a. You're at a secret meeting now, and it was just very, I don't know, the guy was just funny. He was just very dry and very, like, involving the audience and just kind of a lot of different weird humor. Like, he brought out an accordion at some point and was playing this ridiculous song, and yeah, I don't know, it was just really entertaining. And Jerry hadn't read any of the books, so he didn't even know what this character was, but he was thoroughly entertained. Yeah, he was like, your brother would have totally loved this.
Just move his hat back a little.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to take it off.
It's kind of one of those things where it's like, if you were there, it would have been like, awesome, but I'm so not good at describing things. It's hot in here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's better. No, the fan's on.
Yeah,
it sounds like, hey, we got Creepy Porpoise here. What's up?
What's up?
I don't know if you've been watching Creepy, but I got mustache duct tape. So there you go.
Nice.
I'll send the package. Yeah, I was interested. Like, I haven't actually read anything of Lemony Snicket's works, but I know all the books are quite thematic outside of the stories, where it's like, if they're looking for this book, if they find it, burn it, destroy it, don't let anyone know that I wrote this.
Yeah, it's very, like, sinister.
And so you run to the bookstore and torch the whole shelf, and he's like, he told me! And they're like, I guess.
It's got this kind of, he's got this way of just, like, I don't know, kids like it when it's kind of weird, and you're not super humoring them, you're being very just, children.
I like they look like Otho.
Yeah.
Little trivia, I think the guy who played Otho was also the mayor in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, I love that character.
And also, I think he unfortunately passed away in the past few years. So.
That's too bad.
But man, he's... Oh, speaking of the mayor in Nightmare Before Christmas, you know those pop figurines I'm all about?
Oh, yeah.
The little big head ones that you finally opened, the ones I got you over there?
Yeah.
They do have a Nightmare Before Christmas series, and there's the mayor. Might go get it.
That's an adorable character.
Yeah, might go to Anime Extreme. That's where it's cheaper.
Nice.
It's like $9 one.
Nice.
And I just put it on my shelf. Good to go.
Yeah.
Beyond that, our pleasantries. Bunch of topics, of course. If you guys want to jump in and ask questions, I'd be more interested to speak about what you guys want to talk about, because my life's not too thrilling these days. I'm just kind of doing my 9 to 5, just punching the card, know what I'm saying? Going, doing the grind and the rat race, all that good stuff. You know, making bread, ends meet, bread meat sandwiches, all that good stuff. So if you guys have anything you want to bring up, throw them in. But until then, I found this interesting, because if you watched past episodes of Shanahanigans Live, you know I actually clearly stated why doesn't Nerf sell crossbows for girls, or not necessarily for girls, but at least have them in the ads using the crossbows. And we're like, what's up, why not? Things went quiet for a while, and only recently, in the past few days, I saw some articles posted around about Nerf's new line of female-targeted weaponry.
Right.
Whether it's inspired by Merida, or by... Who else used a bow and arrow? Was it Katniss? I don't know. But Nerf is finally, like, hearing the call. Now, it's debatable. Some people have some issues. Whether it's the inaugural bow and arrow, which is their first one in this line. It's called the Heartbreaker.
Oh.
It's debatable whether the pink and generally adorable aesthetic of the weapon is the way to go. But as I say, baby steps, people. We gotta ease our way into this market.
Yeah, I guess you could buy either. I mean, the one that really upset me was like the Bic pens for girls. It's like Bic pens, it's a pen, but it's like this one's for her, and I'm like, so it's like what, like writes cupcakes and flowers?
That'd
and
be nice,
sparkles?
actually.
Like, I have no idea.
All the ink is pink. That doesn't help me.
Yeah, maybe. Like I can't see anything.
I
But
need blue.
It's
I'm writing an essay.
the colors of the pens, but I'm like, it's kind of like I remember watching what was that Jiro Dreams of Sushi one?
Yes.
And he was talking about at some point, they're like $300 plates of sushi. This is like supreme sushi.
Yeah.
But he's talking to his patrons and he's like, oh yes, and I make like the portion smaller for women so it fits more in your mouth. I'm like, oh, so you're gonna charge me less?
Yeah, I'm wondering that part. Are the prices comparable to my mouth?
Like, no, I want more pieces.
What a jerk.
But
Jiro Dreams of jerk.
I wonder why it's.
Well, I don't know if we can show, we could probably show you guys if we open up.
Yeah, I can put it.
Yeah, so we'll open up a thing and then share the screen.
Okay.
So go to add a tab or something.
It's actually really obnoxious because my little.
Wait, no, isn't that which one's the display screen?
Yeah, but my icon tab bar is at the bottom and I can't open up.
We'll just Apple T.
New tab.
Or
Okay,
Apple
what am I opening up?
Type Nerf Heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker.
And we'll show you guys what we're talking about. And it's interesting debate because like you can either just have like the regular boys Nerf style commercial and just like throw a girl in there,
Rebel
is it the Rebel Blaster? Oh, there you go. Rebel of the Ball.
Rebel.
There you go. All right, so maybe bring that over and show the screen. See what you guys think of this.
Okay, 1 second.
Like it's actually all right. It's not as pink and heart covered as I may make it sound. But, like some people were definitely like, oh, so the girls get the pink bows. It was kind of like...
Okay, screen?
Maybe.
Did I do screen?
I don't know. Did you do it?
I did it. Oh, wait, maybe I can't see because... oh, there we go. Okay, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there it is. Entertainment Weekly.
I think
It's quite, like, modest comparatively.
It's got that kind of, like... yeah, it's kind of badass. I like it.
Yeah. It's got a bit of, like, a tribal tattoo look.
Nerf, I'm just thinking the Nerf bow and arrow that, like, we used to have was just this gross blue.
Yeah, it was just blue and yellow and it went clunk.
So, I mean, if I had a choice, I'd be like, awesome.
Yeah.
But it's when it says girl on it, I'm like, no.
Well, but it doesn't on the box say, for girls!
Oh, no.
Now, the question is whether it's in, like, the sporting aisle or if it's in, like, the Barbie section. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But the point is, like, at least this is a step. You know, whether people agree or not, if it's a good step, I don't know.
That being said, yeah, okay, so Rebel immediately brings to mind Lego Friends, a new line of female-driven products that helped to increase Lego's profits by 36% last year. Oh, okay, because we were like, that's troublesome, but I guess profits went up.
It's, you know...
even as critics accuse the toy company of promoting gender stereotypes.
But, like, it's kind of like... It may be promoting gender stereotypes, but I guess at least there's the options now, because otherwise there is no, you know, quote-unquote girly bow and arrow. You know, there's only the, you know, Nerf guy with a gun, stealth and all that stuff. But, like, now it's like, but if I want, like, my deadly cute bow, at least I have the option of either. Yeah. You know? So, because where else... This kind of is the same thing with, I always found... Not that I did any research, but on the assumption of, like, with the Shonen Jump and the Shoujo Beat difference, where it's like, boys will buy Jump for their Naruto and their Yu-Gi-Oh! Girls will buy Beat, but they will also buy Jump. Mm-hmm. But boys will not buy Beat. Now, some do. Maybe all of them do. I don't know. But, like, the assumption is, it's like, because they canceled one of those, and it wasn't Jump, it was Beat. Because Jump was definitely selling more, because both girls and guys would buy Jump. Because we don't love Naruto and Death Note and all that stuff. But majorly, only girls were buying Shoujo Beat. But they still do the Shoujo Beat books. But, you know, I'm not the one wanting to buy Hot Gimmick, though I end up being the one who has to for you guys. But yeah, so I'm curious to see what this leads to, because it's basically what we're talking about this whole time, where I'm like, when Brave came out, why wasn't there a commercial for like a girl with the crossbow?
I've seen this really cute stuff. I keep talking about this, but the Patrick Rothfuss storyboard things.
Yes.
The author talking about videos and chats, and one of the videos, it's like one of the author's daughters is like, she's like 3 or something, and she's got this little bow and arrow, and she's like, I'm there, and I'll be shooting from my own hand, and shoots this little like.
That's ridiculous. 3.
And I was just like, oh man. And then I was like, oh man, she's totally mimicking it. But oh man, like that's awesome. But she's got a dangerous weapon. But I'm like, oh, this is so cute.
When was this? Where was this?
It was just kind of like, you know, sometimes in the YouTubes it'll just go on to the next video.
Yeah.
And it was like one of the author's daughters.
That's adorable.
It was really cute.
Yeah. We got Creepy Pork saying, I actually kind of like it. I don't know, I think the black, that looks nice. It's Nerf usually orange and yellow. The more modern line of Nerf, was orange and yellow, because they look so much like guns, they have to pick the least gun-like colors on them. Because we had a break from Nerf for a good long while. You know, we grew up and you don't really run around playing Nerf for a while, but then you get into the office and there you go. And Nerf just changed drastically, because when we were kids, Nerf was like big foam arrow, 3 darts, a ball that has a spring. We come back years later, Nerf is like cartridges with bullets that you load into each and clip in and drop the legs. And I spat on my screen. I'm so excited. And you have a replacement cartridge, and you have an extra scope and a laser. And it's like, if you painted this black, it would look like a gun. And this is the same reason why Nintendo's Zapper, you know, Duck Hunt, had to be orange.
Yeah.
Because it was a gun. Awesome. And there's some toy regulations. So definitely that's why Nerf boy colors aren't terribly interesting, because it's just like, you know, hunter safety colors. Where else with the girls now, you can have some flourish. Just be like, oh, all the colors in the world, you know? Like, why not?
It's interesting reading all the comments, because it's a lot of back and forth of, is this sexist or isn't it, or is it...
It's very strange.
Like, what's wrong with, like, you know, it's like, you know, why do they keep putting pink at us? And then it's like, well, what's wrong with pink? And like, why is it a bad thing?
There's the two parties of that this is where guys are always so confused that they can't really be involved in the argument, because it's basically guys would either think, oh, it's you know, like, the guys won't think at all for this case, because there's too many varying opinions on the girls' side, where it's like, we don't want pink stuff. And so guys would be like, oh, girls don't want pink stuff anymore. But then there's some girls who are like, we like pink stuff. And it's like, the girls want the pink stuff. So it's like, it's just like, it's having the option, at least, I think is good. So now you have the boy version, which honestly anyone can use. It's advertised that way. Then you have the girl version, which once again anyone can use. You have the option. As Maya's saying, I'd still like to see girls in the standard boys' toys ads.
Yeah, I think some people are criticizing this product as like it's not as accurate as the main.
No, they didn't make it like weaker. They said it was like boom.
Well, you'll wait till go off.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's.
Now I can shoot it quicker and go to my tea party.
Oh my god.
Problem.
You can shoot recipes to the kitchen. It's
you can shoot love notes to your boyfriends.
That's even worse. But yeah, there's an extra slot there.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, it's not like that.
No.
It's they said they didn't, not to use the term, but they didn't nerf the Nerf device.
I gotta say, I like the look of it though. Like, I think even now, if I went to go get a Nerf gun, I'd totally go get that one. And if I was a kid, I would have been like, yes, this one, like versus the big ugly blue.
Yeah, the big ugly blue and yellow or orange or stupid colors.
I like pink though. I like those colors.
Yes,
I guess it's because I've been warped by the media to like pink. It's not my own interest.
Well, yeah, it's like, is it like the whole question of you can't like pink anymore or else you're in the system? It's like, but it's a nice color.
It's like you're programmed to like it, and I'm like, well,
yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll hate this color now because society says I have to like it.
Yeah. Maya's saying it's a problem that there's a strange assumption of gender colors and even stranger assumptions that most girls in the target audience like pink.
Yeah.
But then the question comes down to, what if they do like pink? Do you just say, no, you can't like pink anymore? You gotta now like ugly orange and blue. It's like, I don't want the ugly orange and blue one. You're gonna like it. You know, it's like, then what are you doing? It's that whole thing where like guys are posting this stuff being like, you know, you're pretty without makeup. Why do you need makeup? It's like, well, sometimes I want makeup.
I know, sometimes I feel like wearing it.
Like, who are you to say you're not allowed to wear makeup? Because like guys assume they're doing the right thing, saying you don't need makeup, girl. And it's like, but I want some. Who are you just saying I can't have some.
Well, it gets kind of complicated, and I mean, we're opening up a huge kettle of fish.
No, it's just we keep coming back to this on the show.
I
I just love
mean,
the
it's one of those things
topic.
that kind of bug me too. That would show up on Facebook, where it was like real girls have curves, and it's kind of a fight against just the really skinny model type that's out there, and that's kind of a dangerous image because it's making women who aren't stick thin feel like they're too big. But then it's like, when they're like, these aren't real women, these are real women. It's like, I've got friends who are really skinny and are upset about that and want to gain weight. And it's like, now you're saying she's not a woman because she doesn't have curves. Like, it's like, you can't win ever. And it's like, how about we just say everybody's awesome? And but I mean, media obviously wants you to buy something. So
well,
it's
the same thing.
I can't make you buy stuff if I don't make you feel bad about your stuff. So you'll buy my product and buy it. And,
the same thing was kind of hitting the whole like gamer girl thing, because you have like the idea of who a fake gamer girl was is the one who's like pretty much near nude, covered in Xbox controllers and like biting the cable.
Why can't she do that too?
But maybe she also plays Xbox.
That. Maybe she likes Xbox. Maybe she likes pinup.
It's like people have like the girl with the glasses and like the low shirt and like a controller, and she's like, she's not a real gamer girl. I'm like, maybe she is a gamer girl. I've seen people
be like, this isn't a gamer girl. This is a gamer girl. I'm like, how about they're both the gamer girl?
Yeah, why not that? Because that's equally as saying there's only one kind and it's not this. You know, and so it's like it's. Unfortunately, it's unmarketable at the moment to say everyone is accessible to this item because the industry is heavily catered on specific markets. And we've talked about this before. As you watch past episodes, we won't too much longer. But like how old Lego commercials and toys actually had both the boy and the girl in the box. And you're like, oh, check it out. The whole family's playing. Like, I don't know if they ever sold Twister and just had like 4 dudes on the box playing Twister. Like, usually they mix it up a bit for reasons. But
I want that 4. Yes.
Like, but it's like most toys nowadays tend to have to be like a specific thing. But stuff like Duplo or like anything that's like a younger demographic is usually they're around the same. Like, I assume you can have both boys and girls on a box of Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh no, yeah.
What? No,
no, I'm kidding.
They need Pristine the Boat or whatever her name is.
Pristine the Boat.
I don't know. They had a separate series. Just like back in the day when they had like they had ballerina flyers, they spin around, and the boys are like, Dragon Warriors, they spin a lot!
It's the same thing.
And it's the same damn thing! And chances are, if you had a boy and a girl, they'd somehow end up in each other's playrooms dating these two figures,
Well, I know, like, we always had the same bucket of toys when we were growing up, so it's just like, you just randomly...
the friggin', the Street Fighters would end up with the Barbies. Like, that's just nature.
Just hanging out at the dream house.
Ken can't hold up. That was M. Bison, man. Just to jump back into the chat, of course you don't say you can't like pink, it's about options and assumptions. And I guess in the end it's like, what we'd prefer is not a catered box to say this is for them, this is for them. It'd be like, here are the options within this line of products. Here, it's like, it's in the end it's going to be the same damn toy. But here's the pink one, here's the blue one, here's the camel one, here's the puppy one, it's like...
I want the camel one.
I want the camel or camel?
Did you say camel?
There's not little camels all over it. I mean camo.
Oh, that's so specific.
Yeah, it's like so you can hide in the desert
very
with camels on your crossbow.
Camo crossbow.
But the problem is stores are still like it's the same thing with the school system. Like it's the same thing with everything with television school systems. We're still all attached to our archaic systems of this is this section. All people of this grade go into this class. Or of this age, sorry, all this is here. Like, we're still stuck in that zone, and until, like, a store actually came out, it's like, the stuff store! Without sections! Nothing makes sense! And so people would be like, I want to go to the Nerf section. It's just, here's all the Nerf. It's like, I want to go to the costume section. Here's all the costumes. I want to go to the art section. Here's all the art stuff. Do girls have, quote-unquote, action figures?
Sure.
Like, if I said, I want to go to the girls' action figures section, would they be like... Because like your My Little Ponies, they don't really move terribly much. Maybe their necks.
You mean
the
like
Teen
you
Titans
touch
were...
something and it's like punching?
Well, action figures not necessarily they move, but you can. They're articulate.
Action's like a doll.
Yeah.
So you can.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of toys and dolls, but I don't know if
I was trying to think, like, design-wise, though, like...
We should just take a trip to a Toys R Us
and
do, like...
dude, we should do some research, because, like, you're not going to pick up, like, Baby Eats a Lot and be like, that's chopping action, because the arm moves! It's like, well, I guess it does, technically.
Action, baby!
No, I don't want to peas! But it's interesting, to kind of, like... everything has to be categorized is the end problem. But the very end, which also we brought up before, is ask your kid. If you have a kid or know a kid, ask them what they want and why they want it. If they're like, the main story was the one from Tumblr where it's like the kid wanted the Hulk. You know, and the auntie was like, "Oh, you want the Hulk? Don't you want these things?"
My heart.
You know, and then if the story's true, I don't know. It's a nice story either way. But the lady running the store was like, "Well, let's ask her, why does she want Hulk so much? Why does she want a boy toy?" And she's like, "Well, me and my dad used to like read Hulk or watch Hulk, and now he's not around, I miss him." And it's like, oh, you know, it reminds her of her dad. And it's like, okay, so talk to your kids, figure out what's up.
Yeah, or maybe she's just like, Hulk's friggin' awesome. Like,
there's that too. Yeah, maybe she's like, Hulk's badass. And you're like, where'd you learn that language? There's a few more things. Hannah. I remember actually, I like Hannah's entrance when she first showed up. Because Hannah came in going, "Hey, what up?"
Nice, I like that. Very bold.
Just breaks right into the conversation. Going back to TV Dinner, this is when I was a little boy. My absolute favorite color was pink. Now that I'm an adult, I've graduated to a vastly more manly color of teal.
I do like blues. A lot of nice blues.
I think pink looks good with black. It's always a nice mix for some reason. I like the neon. Maybe it's just because I really like the colored Oreos back in the day. Because we had the neon colored Oreos where it's like pink, blue, green. And it's like
orange.
shocking colors. I'm like, oh my gosh. It looks so good against black.
Your teeth will get all orange.
No, definitely.
Oreos.
Maya's saying a lot of marketing is still based on outdated categories and ideas. And it's also age groups because the box has to say this is ages 8 to 10. It's like, if your 7-year-old has it, they could kill themselves. It's like,
we'll eat it.
heaven forbid.
What?
It's like, it's all craziness.
Yeah.
TV Dinner asking, is Van Calf a no-go for you two this year? What are we doing? I was actually wanting to ask you about that.
Well, we don't have a table right now, but if we're able to get Silly Kingdom done for May, stuff can be arranged.
But like, what is there like a cutoff? Like, should we?
Stuff can be arranged.
Okay, cool. Because I just want to I also have some vacation days I gotta use at my work, and I want to get them in advance. Okay, it's a possibility because we enjoyed Vancouver. We want to go back to the eatery.
Oh man,
i.e. me so horny.
So good. It's
M-I-S-O.
Mr. T is the on the business card.
Basically, the everything sushi place.
So weird.
Definitely. Man, I'm just those Whoppers.
Glad I didn't have one.
Maybe. But yeah, so I'm all for there being like more variety and weaponry for children. I read another article actually that was all about. It was in the whatever paper, I forget. And the top was this is like a legitimate paper with stocks in later pages.
Oh my goodness.
And the article was boys will be boys, and the whole concept is not the whole thing of like, oh, boys will be boys, but the whole idea of how schools are basically teaching against the nature of a boy. How boys like to be rowdy and competitive, and school's all about teamwork and sitting down and shutting up for 8 hours. And it's just like, and the idea was boys who score the same as girls on tests and stuff are getting lower grades because though they may have the same intellect, their attitudes they're not sitting down and being good. So they get lower grades because it's like, oh, he's rowdy. So they could be having the same marks, but the misbehavior is going against their grades because they're just, wanting to move and stuff. And it was kind of an interesting look because usually when you use the term boys will be boys, it's usually like a really dumb thing where it's like, oh, it means he likes you when he punches you in the back of the head.
That's
it's like,
problematic.
don't promote that.
Yeah.
But the whole idea of some schools, when I heard my sister told me that her school was going to cancel recess. And I'm like, because it was dangerous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? I'm like, when you get to the real world and you trip and scrape your knee, you're going to die. Because you're not going to know how to handle it.
You're just like, ah!
You won't understand the premise of falling. Gravity will be a trick to you. You're like walking down the street and you trip on a curb. You won't know to move your other leg to balance it out because you've never done it before.
I find that ridiculous.
Like, we need recess. It's like, let's just not be lazy. And like, you monitor, sure, but we need some recess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Kids gotta play, man. It's like, children are friggin' animals. They're not designed to sit around and read Charlotte's Web and tell you what it means.
Yeah, I know.
They're meant to climb and grasp and send them up a tree and bring back bananas and stuff. Like, that's what they do.
Have more fun times.
Yeah, and that's how we learn. Charlotte says hi. Charlotte. I'm not good at reading names today. No. That's her. Says hi. Welcome to the show. How's it going?
Cool. I've been setting up these systems.
What?
All right. I've been having to set up my Photoshop system to move it.
Is everything running nicely? Is not choppy?
Yeah,
real time? not too delayed. I could do the test where I clap my hands and you guys tell me when I did it, and it's probably way too late. Because you won't... When you hear the clap the hands, that happened long ago. We'll be on a whole new subject by then. Such as... Let's see what else I got.
Topics?
Well, a quick one, actually. So, Scholastic is re-releasing Harry Potter for the 15th anniversary of it being all Harry Potter-ish.
Yes.
And cool news on that half, they got a new cover designed by
the one and
the
only
Kazu Kibishi.
Yes.
You may know him from, Amulet, from
may
the Flight
also
anthologies,
know
from
him
Cooper.
From the back of
He also,
Silly
you
Kingdom.
might know him from the back of Silly Kingdom. So the new cover is designed, drawn
Where he said very
by
nice
Kazu,
things about us.
and it's awesome. It's good, and it makes me feel like worst. 'Cause I feel like I'm doing nothing. I'm like, oh man, he's drawing the cover to Harry Potter. What have I ever done? Well, I don't want if Scholastic was like,
I wanted to do
we
that.
need you to draw the cover. I'm like, it's probably a bad idea. I'll give it a shot.
I would like to see how that's
It's
turned
like,
out.
but the point is, it's like when you hear like people you know doing friggin' awesome stuff, and you're still there like clicking away at your 9 to 5. You're like, ooh, I feel like I should try harder. We got Andrew Murray. Or should I say Andrew Murray? What's up? Hey, he says. I say you.
What?
Wait, is it? I could be your girlfriend. I don't like your girl. How the hell does that song go? Hey, you.
I don't like your
Girlfriend. Okay, I don't mind.
your girlfriend.
Like what? I don't know the rest of the song. Sorry. I don't mind. I don't find your opinion valid. Hey. TV news of Silly Kingdom and Harry Potter now have 1 degree of separation. Yes.
I was thinking about
that
that
bridge. Tomorrow, JK's gonna be on the phone. She's like, "Oi!
Oh my God.
What are you bosses doing?
And
Where's
then
the
she's
next
like,
silly bloody kingdom? I want to write the forward. You bastards." I'm like, all right, JK. It's gonna be. It's not gonna be mean, is it? I tuned. Wait, what? I tuned in to Shani's singing Avril. Oh, yeah, good timing.
Yeah, Hannah, the chat won't post links.
Yeah.
You have to write like it without the .com, and then we'll put the .com in.
Or post it on the Facebook, and we'll find it.
Yes,
later.
you post on the Facebook, we'll see it there. But for whatever reason, Livestream won't let you do it. Nice. Andrew, you missed our. We had an opening song.
Yeah.
This episode 2.
Theme song by Uncle C. That kind of thing. Definitely what rolling sounds like.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why rolling. I think she's something like that. How come Andrew's posting the same thing 50 times? What's happening? Andrew!
Stop it!
Why are there 3 of you? No!
I think I might have done something.
You did something.
Well, I mean, it's jumping to like 60% because I'm working on
God.
Photoshop.
Don't kill the chat. He's doing it again! Oh my gosh.
Or we really just made his nights.
I don't know. It's just... what's happening? Andrew!
Alright, okay, I will stop. I want this to be a drawing show and I can't work on my drawings.
No, our show's still running, right? We
always
ask
guys, did
people.
we freeze?
I don't think so. It's just going and going, he says. Yeah. Why are you doing that, Andrew? Why? What have we done? Why?
It's because he's almost at 100 episodes of Guys with Pencils, so he's
That's right.
Come here and step on all
Thinks he can make our show. He's like, oh shoot, they're at 70. We gotta knock them down a notch. Trying to catch up like it's some sort of live show. Yeah.
Because we are also an educational show.
Yes. Aren't we? What's educational? If you guys want to learn something, just ask questions and I'll toss my knowledge your way.
Science.
Drop some mad science, if everything. Speaking of dropping mad science, of course, we did another Right Night here in Toronto, of course. It was the Origins episode where we talked about origins of characters and stuff like that. Oh, he's got Scott C next Monday.
Scott C is
Check
awesome.
that out.
That's
he's got Scott Campbell, buddy. There you go. There you go. So, Guys with Pencils, Scott C's going to be on. Steven Silver was on recently, wasn't he?
He was, and it was a really good episode. There was
Steven
a lot in there
Silver,
that I was like,
Steven Silver's been popping up quite a bit on the YouTubes, all about like how to preserve your integrity, basically.
I think something
triggered.
I don't know exactly what it is. I think listening to the Guys with Pencils episode, it was like, I don't know who he's talking about exactly, but it sounds like a couple of young artists were approached to do something, and they were asking him if it sounded legit.
Yeah.
And it was just like the straw that was just like.
Yeah.
Too many. It was like so many young artists are being taken advantage of because they don't know better.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, do this for us for free.
We'll make
this
you
will be great
famous.
for your portfolio. But the thing is the people you're doing it for, they're still getting paid.
Yeah.
You know, the person emailing you to do this, they're not they're not sacrificing extra time. Like
No.
they're still getting paid. It's you're
Yeah.
not getting paid because you like to draw anyway.
Yeah, you're
Draw
going to do
for
it
fun.
anyway. Well, that's your resume.
And, you know, Silver's just seen this happen so much that he was just like, enough's enough. So he's been posting little YouTube rants and a bunch of tips for, like, I think he's starting his own little podcast now. It's very short clips of steps and things to do to, like, just to make it as a freelance artist, know what to watch out for. And then he's on the latest episodes of Guys with Pencils, which you guys should definitely check out because he talks about a lot of stuff, especially if you're an artist and you're getting started and you don't know what's legit and should you draw this thing for free because it'll give you exposure or it's fun. It's like stuff that you should really be careful about because it's like, in the end, when you do stuff for free, you're still kind of hurting the industry as a whole because they'll always try and find the one person who'll do it for free, then pay the person for it. Give it a listen. It's really good.
Should we, like, make a show note on that?
Yeah, you know what? That's a show note.
So, Girl Crossbow and Steven Silver, Guys with Pencils. 2 notes. And everyone knows Harry Potter.
Yeah.
If you missed that, Kazu, Harry Potter cover. There you go. Good job. And yeah, so wait, those guys are at episode 90, man. Check it out. Are you guys doing
99.
99? Oh, sorry, 99. Are you guys doing were they doing a big brouhaha for 100 or something?
Is there going to be a party?
Did they say there's going to be?
Is there going to be a party?
Is there a hahu?
Is there going to be a hahu?
A shoobly-doo? Are we going to do a thing or two?
Mm-hmm.
Get back to us, Andrew. Invites. Live show. Live studio audience.
We will bring the
At a
presence,
pub.
the presence of ourselves.
Yes.
We'll bring up the present of our presence.
Me and my friend made a mission to hunt down guys with pencils at TCAF this year. It says,
Oh, there you go.
there you go. You guys got stalkers. Check it. Guys with pencils, now with stalkers.
Sweet.
You want to listen to this show.
Sweet.
We're doing a round table dinner episode. Can you have like every guest ever in like a big ass round table?
A lot of them are from over.
That'd be amazing, actually. Think about it. If you went to dim sum up north, like to one of those
treat
big,
us to dim sum.
because up north in Toronto, if you go like past north, there's like dim sum is in halls basically, like it's in like wedding halls, and there's just tables everywhere. It's the greatest because like the fathers really return to like their roots of hunting because they're never at the table. They're always running off to get the next thing that comes out. I just wait for it to come by. It's on wheels. But like it's fascinating to watch the process of just all these tables. But if you had like a podcast and you had a map so you knew where everyone was, so you can ask each table questions. 100 guests.
That'd be pretty rad.
That'd be quite interesting. Guys with Pencils, 100 tables edition of dim sum. Coming soon. We're invited, right? Want some more dim sum. Segway, we had dim sum recently.
It was so good.
Do you have anything else to say?
Well...
What was it for?
It's cute.
Chinese New Year's came by, so happy Chinese New Year's,
Yeah,
everyone.
happy Chinese New Year's. We
Snake!
went to Chinese New Year's with a couple of our flight buddies.
Yes.
And the food was so good, and it's cute but kind of morbid. Like the dumplings were shaped like the animal that was in them. So there was one that was like a little pig dumpling, and it was just like, it was one of those crispy on the outside and had little pointy ears, and it had 2 little dots of sesame seeds for little eyes. And then there was one that looked like a crab, and there was one that looked like a lobster.
They do a lot of themed animals.
They have one that's emu. I was like, how did I get emu?
Yeah.
Where it's just like the little
Should have like an email.
thing. It was fantastic.
I don't know what email
I ate so much food. It was so good.
It was delightful.
Yeah.
I hope you guys all had a good Chinese New Year's. We got a creep person. Hey Shaggy, when are we going to see those night podcasts online? I'll do it this weekend. I've been meaning to upload it. Make me do it this weekend, because this weekend's actually a long weekend. We get Monday off because it's Family Day, which I think is just because it's like President's Day in America or something like that. So we just needed some reason to take the day off. We don't have presidents, so, or car dealerships apparently, because we don't get any of those commercials where it's like Lincoln is selling you cars.
Oh dang.
This is a pure inside joke, but I want that guy on the $5 bill. Damn it, Laurier. Okay, I want a commercial with Laurier selling cars. That'd be hilarious. Anyway, neither here nor there. Point is, what was my point? Yes, I want to upload those. Creepy wants to listen. I do warn you though, they're not. In my mind, they are intended to be. I'm getting finger wagged from TV Dickinson. I said that last week, and I'm well aware that I did.
Finger wag.
I waggle back to you, sir and madam. That's I will do it this weekend because I have the Monday off at least. Even though Monday's gonna be Sherlock Marathon on Netflix.
Sweet.
Not that it's actually a Netflix event, just in my house because I haven't watched it all yet, and I want to watch it all. But I'm gonna do it this weekend. It may not happen right away because SoundCloud has some weird. There is podcasting through SoundCloud, I believe, I don't know if there's a bit of a review process that you have to go through to do it. But it does connect directly to iTunes as well, which is kind of nice. And that really, I'd rather do it that way because, as I said before, with my previous podcast, I was really kind of wanting an automatic YouTube-style system for uploading podcasts. I was tired of uploading to a blog and stuff going wrong, and they make a revision, and that resets the order, and I have to look for a new way to reset order. But there's only a 100-episode limit, and it makes no sense, and I hate podcasting. But the point is, SoundCloud, if it does this for me, then it'll make it a lot easier. You guys will get episodes. And I do warn you, though, it's not... it may fail, but I try not to make it like it's intended to be a podcast. I like to make it more of a conversation, but in the end, I do tend to play host, which means I may not talk as much. I just kind of pose a question or a leading question because I already have the answer. Mm-hmm. I want to try to be less prepared in a weird way on future talks because I find I'm more focused on getting to all my bullet points than having a conversation.
But I mean, when you're picking a topic, you clearly have things you're slowly getting in mind to talk about on this topic.
Well,
especially if you're there and everybody's just kind of quiet.
That's the problem because the thing is, each night is so catered. It's like, this is Origins night, this is Monster night, this is the next one coming up is humor writing. Okay. And the thing is, if we go off topic, people are like, oh, did we go far off topic? But it's like, should I care about that? Like, if it's a conversation, we talk about anything. Like, right now, we should still be talking about Nerf bow and arrows if that was the topic tonight.
We're done.
So that's what I'm wondering, is like, should I just start with humor and then see where it goes? Or do I still want to hit points? Because clearly, like, your favorite Geek and Sundry show, Storyboard with Big Beard,
Patrick Rothfuss.
Like, they stick to one topic because he picks catered authors. Of like, you guys all write this, so let's all talk about this. Whereas my thing is, I tend to have I actually have a different new people every time. Not a whole new board, but there's always one new person at least every time, which I'm pretty proud of. And that means we have like film writers, we have comic writers, fan fiction writers, comedians, me. And it's like, and so no one's, because I was debating whether we should do the Sexy Times episode.
Oh God, are we going to talk about that?
Well, like for the right night, but I'm like, none of us actually write that stuff. Like, we talked about this last week with the Bad Sex Award for literary awards, and how people just write it horribly. But like, everyone who comes to my meetings, we've never really written that. So what would we actually talk about without any experience?
And like, also, it's
writing.
New night, and you're all like giggling about
pretty much
writing those scenes.
We're like, so butts. I'm like, I don't know if that's what we want.
Chapter 10, butts.
My boyfriend's pretty excited about the comedy writing theme, I think, says Pay Porpoise. And he better be there, because I have some questions for him.
Oh, really?
Well, about comedy.
Okay. What are your intentions towards
Are you treating her right? She's like our best damn viewer.
Her like our princess.
You better respect her.
Just because this like...
Yeah, it just becomes this thing. We got Saturdays. I'm so bad at writing scripts for my films in school. Are you in like the GTA, the Toronto area? You should come on down to Write Night. It's open for everyone, even though friggin' TV Dare says haha butts. Thank you, TV Dare. I know Hannah also said butts, but she didn't laugh. She just stated it. Yeah, like, what was I saying? Yes, Sarah. Are you like in the GTA? Like, cause were you from?
It's Cyrillus, right?
No, Sarah is.
You're like Sarah.
It's like how I say Carlos.
I like Sarah.
Oh, I'm in Montreal.
Nice.
Well, we might have a Montreal edition someday.
Yeah.
We'll just be like, I should. Well, that's what I'm thinking.
You should just hop back on the bus with Flux Fox.
Curse the long distances. Is anyone here from Toronto? We got Andrew Murray. I didn't mean it the way I said that. Because we have Andrew. God, this guy with his 99 shows stalking me. But definitely, if you are in Toronto or coming to Toronto for TCAF, I don't know what else we do in Toronto. If you come to Toronto for some reason, you should stop by because we do it at a really nice venue called the CSI, the Creative something over in the annex. It's very nice. Definitely. So that one's coming up. It's actually going to be on Wednesday this week. It's usually Mondays, but hey, Monday is a day off. I don't want to impede on anyone's long weekends. Monday evening, humor writing. Check it out when I upload it. I swear I'll try this weekend. It's been really hard to focus. I tried editing like the recent Twilight readings.
So I want to hear that.
And I think they're funner to read than they are to edit. Because I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I guess
So many mumbly jumblies. They keep messing things up. I don't even make the blooper reels anymore. I'm like, what's the point of messing up if there's no blooper reel? This is stupid. Let's keep it all in. Nah, reading books is hard, man. This is why I don't read.
I mean, you don't always have to edit and make a big production out of every book you read.
Oh, no,
I don't want
don't.
to read that. I don't want sound effects.
Where's Scott Card? I gotta freaking do those things. Do or do not shake. There's no tries. It's TV dinner. I know how you feel as a screenwriter. Sometimes work is just work. Yes, it is. But there's definitely a bunch of things I want to get done this weekend. It is a long weekend. I do want to finish off Sherlock. That's like my primary thing to do. Because it's been too long, man. People are going to spoil things.
Yep.
What else do I want to do? There's definitely that. I need to edit. I was considering doing like a update episode of TDC since it's been so long since I did anything on TDC. And the update episode would actually talk about the 2 episodes that were shot but never shown.
Secret episodes?
No, not secret. Just the holiday season killed me. I was working like all the time.
Yeah, you missed Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I missed Christmas Eve. I was at work.
I was like, who misses Christmas Eve?
I was working that weekend too. I told you my ghost story, right?
Yeah. There's some freaky stuff happening.
Yeah, man. I was in that building alone on like the weekend before Christmas. You guys may have already heard the story, but I was working that weekend before Christmas, and there's no one on the whole floor. Clearly, no one at all. Working at the computer. All of a sudden, it's late. It's getting dark, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this single tiny little stone falls right beside my hand. Tick, tick, tick. I'm looking around, looking.
Someone.
There's no one here.
It's pitch black.
Yes.
For your desk.
Right beside my hand, just. I'm like, fuck this. I got up and left. I'm like, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. I did the whole Totoro thing where I just laughed out loud. I was like, ah ha ha ha.
Then you pretend you're having a conversation with 5 other people. Come on, John, let's go.
Let's go kick his ass. Okay. Right after I finish flexing my biceps. Pretty much. Andrew Mara saying, have either of you felt you needed to go back to school and learn something new to improve your craft? Just curious. For me, I want to go do night courses in audio. Because I never actually learned audio professionally. I was always, like, I had a vague introduction, but I never learned, how to refine audio. Because it always takes me back to one time I opened up someone's audio project. It was like a demo that came with some audio software. And it was a dude singing. But it wasn't just voice. There was like, voice distributed to 70% here and 20% there, and a reverb version and an inverted version. There was like 4 layers of just his voice to color the whole scene. And then there's like drums were 25% left channel and this and that, and all distributed. And all of it was hitting right at 0 without peaking, without distorting. And I'm like, and that was years ago. And to this day, I'm still thinking I'm not good enough. Like I just make stuff louder and have it cut off right. But that's kind of the one thing between that and like small business management are the 2 courses I want to do.
I do want to learn more about managing a business, running a studio, running a company. I want to learn more of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because you don't really learn that stuff in school.
Well,
they kind of more or less teach you to just be a little art monkey and just go out there and make someone else rich.
Yeah, the problem was there wasn't really any courses that was like, once you go freelance, how do you survive financially? Like, how do you write an invoice? How do you, write off things? How do you do your taxes? Because like right now, I'm renting camera equipment to people, but I'm not making $30,000 a year off of this, side business. So I don't even know if it's a GST thing. And it's just like, who do you go to? And it's going to be hours on the internet, like researching this crap.
I mean, for us, we're kind of lucky that our parents ran their own business for years. So I get to talk to them about freelancing and taxes and stuff like that. And one of my friends who was my director on another project, he's incorporated himself, so he's his own business.
Yeah.
So I'm learning that stuff from him too, where it's what you can do to lower your taxes. And I mean, we're not telling you all the things to do right now. I'm just kind of saying ideas out there is if you incorporate yourself, you pay yourself like an employee.
Yeah, so you pay yourself nothing, basically.
Yeah, and businesses are charged less tax than a person is.
Yeah.
So, it would be charged less than, say, you would be. And it's a lot of stuff to think about and stuff you don't really get taught too much, but you can take a course, you can talk to people, you can treat someone to lunch and try and pick their brain, who knows more.
So I did that once, and I spent like an hour with a cup of whiskey talking about how to invest in GSTs and all that's gone.
Well, that's why you write it down.
Because I had a friend, and we just spent like 2 hours with like some nice gin or whatever,
well, that's why
just
I
talking
write it
about
down,
investments and the different ways and what gets you money, and I'm like...
I think generally too, you want to get a whole bunch of, you want to research it, because it's not like friend says invest in this, you're like done. It's like you want to make sure you're doing the smart thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, it kind of gets to the point where it's, this is my living and I want to be able to survive into my old years from doing art, so it's trying to find a way to navigate through it and invest smartly.
Hannah says there should be a class in your school that's called Real Life, where you learn how to actually do stuff.
Yeah.
Seriously, because it's just like, I have to pay for electricity? And it's like, and what percentage of your house do you write off? Because you have internet, phone, electricity. I knew someone who did like freelance counseling for stuff. She writes off half her toilet paper because people are coming over and using her toilet. She writes off the tea she buys. And it's just like, who's to tell you all this stuff? A professor of mine is like, oh, since I'm in TV and stuff, I write off every movie, magazine, and stuff I read because it's all research and influence.
Yeah, that's what I do.
But then if you're not making as much money, is it questionable that you're writing off every entertainment thing you do?
It's fine, because what you're doing is you're building up your business.
Yeah.
Because it's not every year you're going to make a ton of money, and it's like you're slowly building up. So that's what this is for, so that you're not killing yourself and your business by buying too many things before it actually starts making a profit.
Yeah.
That's why this exists, so that you can start getting your supplies going.
Yeah.
And it doesn't end up making you go into the red because you have too many staplers and oh my god, I don't have any clients.
But that's just it. Yeah, I just want to do like just a night course or something on just running your own business, so I can ask them like things, because that's the question. Like, I'm not making, like, I'm working, I'm employed right now. So I don't need to be freelance at the moment, but once in a while I do a freelance thing, but I'm not making over 30 on it, so it's like, and do I charge GST for like loaning a camera? Like, I don't know.
We'll talk about stuff, because I am fully freelance and I have to deal with a lot of stuff.
Sounds like you make so much less money though. It's like you're giving so much back, but it's like, are you writing anything up on your internet?
Well, I mean, yeah, I write off my internet. I write off my studio space.
Yeah.
Computer stuff. Not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Courses. But to go back to that, yeah, I mean, of course I always want to go back to school, but then I'm like, maybe I'll just pay myself to take a year off and study.
I think was it Mia or Creepy who said they learned, it's somewhere down here, but they learned more from, here we go. Me and my friends made a mission. Nope, that's not it. I think it was Mia said, learn more from guys with pencils than 3 years of school.
That's excellent.
Basically. That's the other thing. You can also learn, like, maybe I can find finance podcast with, general...
I know the information's out there. It's just finding the information you can trust.
Well, yeah, it's after a point also I get tired of having to search bits and pieces for everything. I just want a reliable person to ask questions to.
I mean, that's the problem, too. You can go to the Government of Canada website and read it all. But it's so dry that I'm just like, I don't know. What?
I just want like the wacky finance friend who's like, okay, pretend this salt shaker is the deficit. I'm like, I don't even know what a deficit is, but I like salt. And then there you go from there.
If you figured that stuff out and then your TTTCs became, I'm the wacky guy.
Well, it's funny that you say that, because I was thinking of doing a series called I Want to Know Stuff, where then I would research for the purpose of an episode and then present to you.
In an entertaining way.
Yeah, in an entertaining way, because like my one episode was called How Much Things Weigh. Because sometimes people are like saying, oh, that thing's like 20 grams or kilograms. I'm like, I cannot fathom how much that is, because I never pick up things and say, oh, this must weigh something. Like, I have no idea how much this computer weighs. I'm not promoting how dumb I am. But the point is, people are just like, oh, that truck over there weighs this much. I'm like, I have no, like, and I'm not saying I haven't lifted stuff. I've done jobs where I lift all this stuff, but no one's like, lift that 50-kilo computer or something. Maybe 50 kilos is heavy. I don't know.
Yeah.
The point is, if I made a series about it, maybe I would learning through teaching, like the Tarzan song.
You do learn from teaching.
Yeah.
You learn so much more from teaching people.
Or people telling you you're wrong.
that And that's part of it, because if you just keep the information to yourself, you could be very wrong. And it's putting it out there, someone could be like, actually, this is more like this. And you're like, genius, thank you.
That would be, every follow-up episode would have a call me out section, where then I just say, well, last time, just about everything was wrong, I removed the episode from YouTube. Don't listen to me anymore.
It's just half an hour of you sitting there like...
Yeah. Hannah's saying, I feel nervous about the whole freelance world and how to go about making a business of my art. See, the thing is, it's like, I'm not as nervous about the business side. It's the legit side of it, where it's like, did I do all this right? Mm-hmm. Like, am I going to get called out for writing off too much? Like, I don't know.
I think, and I haven't, like, had to deal with being audited yet, but honestly, I think if you have the receipts and if you could, like, reasonably explain why you wrote this off, like, I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah. Like, I haven't been audited or anything. Not that I want to, but in the other half is like my company / partnership, Uber Friendship, is just that. It's a partnership. There is no official account for it. It's like, if we get paid, it's going to one guy or the other guy, and then he's going to pay the other guy, I guess. But then it's like, does he have to write the tax for all of his portion, or do they both charge GST separately? Well, if one of us doesn't have a GST number, I'm like,
that's again what's tricky with Silly Kingdom, is that I'm the one who's taking care of everything, and then I just kind of give you a
I don't
salary.
exist. I get allowance.
You're like my employee. Yeah, you get allowance.
I get a silly allowance. That's what I get.
I'm like your rich uncle who's like, here you go.
Yeah. But like the truth of the matter, when it comes to Silly Kingdom, I don't even want any of the money. I want it to all go back into the project, but do we still have to report it? It's like, I gained it, but I didn't. I don't.
Well, that's why for now I'm the one.
This is why I want like a finance buddy, not a teacher, a chum. One who's like, hey buddy, let's grab beers and talk money and economies. I'm like, yeah. How about you do all the talking? Because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Sorella says there's a book. Graphic Artist Guide Handbook of Pricing and Ethical.
Write it down.
I have
over
it.
there.
I don't have the most recent one. See, this gets tricky because I think it's more for American.
That's where it gets problematic too, because I was researching rates for editors and it's all American.
Yeah, every year this book comes out updated with things. The Handbook of Pricing and Ethical Guidelines, and it'll have, you guys, like, if you're freelance, I think you totally should pick this up because it's got a lot of kind of basic guidelines
show notes
for everything.
Down.
I'm gonna put it down.
That's a big book.
But it's tons of stuff. I was looking at this because I was doing some freelance comic work. I was looking at, and it's how much you should charge for, like. And this is the thing too, and this is listen to Steven Silver because he has a lot of good points. When you sell your art, it's like, what are you selling? Are you selling the drawing itself, or are you selling the original so that they can make T-shirts? Do you get a portion of T-shirts if someone's going to make T-shirts? If they're going to make a logo from your drawing, it's going to go up everywhere. Are you going to get a portion of that? Like, you really need to make sure everything is in writing and clear, and you need to make sure everything, and even an email could be a contract, just making sure it's all written out and the person agrees to it. But this book here, it's like, it has stuff for book jackets. I think it has stuff for like theater background designs. The stuff I was looking at was comics, graphic novel pages, black and white.
Does it say what the average black and white page is? Or is it per panel? Like, do they ever go that insane?
Usually it's per page.
Yeah. No matter how detailed the panel is.
There's a lot of things to read in here. There's stuff for branding, billing, advertising.
And it's like somewhere, and in the end, everything's negotiable still. Like, there is no final rule. It's how much do you think you're worth? It's like, you could say, like, oh, I charge $25 an hour, or you could say $50 an hour. I don't know.
It talks about stuff too that, like, say you're working on a comic for someone, and this is stuff to think about too. If it's like you're hired on to do this whole project, and then it ends up getting tanked, it's like, sometimes there's this thing called a kill fee, where it's like, I don't remember this exactly, it's in here, but like, if you're working on a project, you've kind of devoted your time to it.
Anticipated.
You turned down other projects to do it.
Yeah.
And if they canceled it on you, if you've negotiated for a kill fee, that means they have to pay you a certain amount.
That happens with camera operators, because they locked off a day to shoot for you. If you cancel on them, you have to pay them, because they're like, this was a work day that you screwed me over on.
So according to this, and this would be interesting for you, this was the 12th edition, so I think this is from maybe 2007. Comparative page rates for comic books. So writing, plot, and script, $75 to $120.
Really? The whole plot and script?
Per page, I think.
Oh, so if it's a 20-page script, it's $75 per page?
To $120.
Ooh.
So in that range. $120 would be
never made that kind of money.
Painted art, $300 to $400.
Okay.
Penciled art, 100 to 250.
Is there a sticky note on that page? That sounds like a good page.
Inked art, 75 to 200. Lettering, 40 to 50 a page. Coloring, 100 to 150. That being said, I mean, honestly...
Coloring can go higher than that. I thought 300 was like coloring a page.
300 if you're the one doing the pencil inks and colors, I think. Or, you know what? Honestly, it depends on what they're willing to pay you.
Once again, it's negotiable.
This is the ethical pricing guideline. This is what they're telling you as an artist to please don't accept anything less. But sometimes it's like, they're like, well, all we can afford is this. And you're like, hey.
Didn't know that existed. If you flip through it.
And like you and me, it's like we don't pay each other anything.
Hell no.
It's like I paid you $0 to write.
I got this today. This is for like 3 years of writing.
And this is the thing, though. It's you and I are in 50% for all the profits.
Pretty
so
much,
it's
yeah.
like we own that stuff. So it's something you need to think about too. If someone's offering you a percentage afterwards, you know, if you want to take that chance, it's totally up to you. Sometimes it doesn't totally work out. There's so much to think about, but in the end, you just got to be careful because you want to make a living doing this, and there's a lot to think about.
Sarah's saying there's a guy who did a presentation about freelancing at school, and he was showing this book. He said you get used to actually getting paid what you're worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you basically. It comes down to like you realizing how much do you need to make a living, and how much do people demand what you do, and if you can find that balance, because you also sometimes. You know, there's the element of you don't want to like do your work for free, but at the same time, sometimes to get certain jobs, you got to undercut for the bigger picture because you're like, if I don't get this particular job, they're not going to pay me, they're not going to keep me on for future jobs. So sometimes you want to, it's not always, but sometimes you not pro bono, but you want to get into a certain area.
There's a thing where it's like
there's a certain range of that.
Sometimes when it's like you have a favorite client,
you're playing the long
give them
game.
a bit of a deal, but in the long run, I mean. If you go underbidding, like someone's gonna do it for free, so it's like
how low can you go?
Yeah, but I mean, you know, that's what I like to do. When I hire artists, I like to pay them the fair rates too, because I know how that feels. So it's like I'm making you take your time out of what you want to do to work on my stuff. So you know, what can we agree on that's fair? Hannah's saying
I saw something called "Shut Up and Pay Me" that was about this,
good.
and it really made me think about this.
I'm gonna
write it down. This is the finance episode, guys.
This is girly
from girl crossbows to finances, heartbreakers.
I'm gonna write that for show notes.
I went to Sheridan, Jonathan NG, I think. So it's on this whole finance thing, actually, at the Write Nights we've been doing, a bunch of people are talking about writing comics and stuff, and none of them are artists. So, this question comes up quite a bit for writers. We might have brought up on this show, but for my own sake, I want to ask it again to you guys and to Katie. What can a writer do? Because we talked about the worst thing to do for an artist is be like, oh, I'll pay you when it's successful, or this will make you famous. No, none of that. You pay them what they're worth because it's worth their time. So, how do writers find artists?
Well,
is it in that book?
You can be born of the same family.
That worked pretty good for us, I think. But for everyone else, all those who don't have relations in the field that they require.
I gotta find this too because there was this.
TV Jam says learn to draw.
Yeah, there was this total asshat who was
this should be
doing this thing. It was promoting how to
bag an artist.
It was pretty much how to bag, manipulate, and like pretty much use an artist. And it was like this tutorial he had on DeviantArt, and people were like, "Oh my god, that's totally terrible." He's like, "No, it's not. Like this is totally how I get my cheap stuff."
No, it's great. We got Andrew saying Twitter. We got Sarah saying DeviantArt and Craigslist. Got Master Cell saying have your mom give birth to one.
Yeah, there we go.
And Creepy Forward says magic.
I'd say Creepy Forward.
Lots of options, but let's be realistic.
I mean, there's a lot of forums. You can go DeviantArt. Like I've been approached by people in DeviantArt with projects. You can approach someone by their blog, email.
Okay. So do the research, of course.
Yeah,
you're not just saying, I need an artist. It's like, you want to know if their style is going to be...
Research their galleries, because there's a ton of free galleries online. So you go onto DeviantArt and you find artists you like, see what they're up to, send them an email, see what they're up to, if they're available. And then, from there, I'm not really sure, because I've been approached by writers for projects, but like I kind of, for me, animation is so much more stable that I get kind of nervous when I go onto a project with a writer, versus... when it's our, because also we have our own projects that I want to work on. So I'm kind of like,
they take priority.
Yeah, it's like this would be cool. The story's cool, but we've got our own stories we want to tell.
Better.
No, but we've got our own stories that we want to tell. So, but I mean, there are artists that don't write their own stories and they want to draw for someone. So it's I don't know exactly how you go about it as a writer. This is probably...
No, that's my question. It's like...
You approach them. Are you interested? This is kind of the basic overview of my story. And then you strike up a relationship.
I think you should, and nowadays, more than ever, access to their work is quite accessible. You know, you will be able to see what they draw often, and there's something you have to keep in mind: what types of things do they draw? Because you yourself don't like drawing mechanical things or cars or robots in the skies. Like no one, like if like Wildstorm or Dreamwave was like, Katie, we need you to do the next Transformers book. And you're
I
like,
would say no.
Yeesh, and they're like, we'll pay you.
Yeah, but
and
if
like,
but if Boom was like, hey, want to draw an Adventure Time? I'm like,
Yeah.
of course I would.
because
Like,
you like
that's
drawing
totally
organic stuff versus
Yeah.
technical, but then there's some people who are insanely good at drawing like cityscapes and
Yeah,
stuff.
super good.
And it's something to keep in mind. Like, is your artist going to like, what you know? It's beneficial if they'll enjoy doing the project too, not just that they're technically enabled to do it. Like, I'm good at drawing buildings, but if the whole book is a building book, you know, it's all buildings talking to each other, and they're not cartoon buildings, it's real. Sounds like a good idea all of a sudden, but it's like the point is, I don't want to do that. You know, you gotta find out if they're like into that type of thing.
Hannah says, are there nice sites where writers are looking for artists? I don't know about websites, but I know at comic conventions there's usually like these
Oh,
kind
there's
of...
meetups?
There's like, I'd say it's like a blind date setup, but it is artists and writers where you go around and meet people.
Tell me you have like 1 minute per table, then you switch.
I wish where you have your pitch
like,
and then you show your art.
I like writing about blood. It's like,
Ding,
okay.
ding, 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 ding.
Come on, switch.
Oh my
minute.
God. I don't know about actual comic forums though. I haven't really been on any myself.
Places where writers post stories and say they want someone to draw for them. There's got to be a forum for that.
Yeah.
Like, in as much as like my experience from the amateur voice acting alliance was basically people posting auditions, and in effect it's like, I want voices for this, and there's a lot of people who want to do it. Now, granted, this, you know, it's a different kind of medium because it's not like laborious hours. I'm not degrading saying voice work is easier or nothing like that, but it's a different focus of, if you really enjoy doing voice work and this is all fan stuff, no one's getting paid in the end. We're all doing it for fun.
Yeah.
Art drawing is a lot more laborious, I will say, because it's taking that time to be there for hours.
And I mean, that's the thing too. Like, it's some people just want to work on stuff for fun, and I'm not saying like, no, don't work on stuff for free for your friend ever, because it's, you know, sometimes
it's experience too, technically.
Sometimes it's experience, sometimes it's
also
like you just
getting to
wanna
work with
collaborate.
people.
But what I'm saying, if someone's making money,
Yes.
you should be making money.
Basically, don't do it for free if it's making money in another way. Like, if it's like all your friends are doing it for free to make money for the next anthology, then sure.
Yeah.
But if it's
And
like
I mean,
one of your friends is getting all the profits, and it's like, wait
yeah,
a
and
minute.
I've been a part of anthologies that didn't end up making a
Oodles
lot of
and
money,
noodles.
but it was because I wanted to be a part of a group of people and meet new people, and it's like we had different reasons for doing it. But like, if someone's making this their livelihood, that they're going out and selling it, like
Yeah.
for all the work you're doing, you should be making something. Like, especially because when you're drawing stuff for that project, you're not drawing stuff that will bring in
money.
food and rent for you.
Because you also accept the truth. Like, no matter how fun it can be to draw, at the same time, you still gotta make a living, right?
Yeah.
You
It's
gotta
kind of
pay
like,
for
it
that
depends.
stuff.
It depends what you want to do with your art. Do you want to be serious about it and make a living from it, or do you just want to do it for fun on the side? So, you know, if you want to be serious about it, you have to start making some grown-up decisions of like making sure you're being fully compensated. I mean, you're worth it. You gotta make sure you get your worth.
CG Hub is apparently a site
Cool.
that has writers seeking artists. I wonder how that works. Like, is it just like a mini pitch, like right there? It's like,
Yeah, usually.
here's my 30-second pitch in the post.
Mhm.
Like, I'm doing a comic about this and this and this.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh.
Yeah, like who would be interested?
Tell me more.
Send me samples.
Yeah. That's tricky because that's, once again, I think we talked about this before, where it's like, you can show your art and people get it, but to show someone you're writing, they have to go, you know, in the time it takes to read to figure out what you're up to.
Mm-hmm.
So I find it's like a lot harder to give a good impression of writing. Where it's like, read this manuscript to understand what the story is, versus like, this is my art style. It's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so reading is definitely more laborious on the gaining interest side. You know, like it's. We actually talked about this podcast. It was the Nerdist podcast actually, and it had Max Landis, the guy who did Chronicle. He did the Death and Return of Superman special short that was on YouTube. Friggin' amazing. Check it out. And he does. I don't want to spoil it for you, but check out the Nerdist episode with Max Landis, and he does a pitch for a movie he wants to work on. And he sells it to you, just telling what his pitch is going to be. And there's a surprise in it, which is awesome. But him just talking, he's so compelling in telling his story that you're just like, I want to see this movie, you know. And maybe that, and unfortunately on text, maybe it's not as easy because like people have to be really open-minded. Like I find I'm really bad at reading concepts and being like, what's this going to look like? Because I always think, I see how I would do it, but I have no idea how you're going to do it. And this is why I've been really reluctant to read people's scripts. Because I'm like, well, I see how I would do this, but I have no idea what you're up to, kind of thing. And so having a live verbal presentation can be so engaging. And he talks about how he does different kinds of pitches and things, and whether it's for someone who wants to see him or if he's trying to get the job, and it's like kind of a different approach each way. So definitely check that out if you get a chance. Mm-hmm. The Nerdist, Max Landis episode. Kind of the only Nerdist one I've actually listened to. He's an interesting character. He's an interesting guy. I follow his Twitter.
Nice.
What'd you do?
Yeah, I'm opening up a file.
That's weird.
Use trial.
Hobbyist, professional hobbyist, serious. Yeah. Anyone else have any questions about finances and marketing and stuff we have no idea what we're doing about?
Yeah.
Spill it now, because we're moving on.
You're not allowed to sue us if things go wrong. But
yeah,
I think my advice is pretty sound.
Yeah, mine is questionable at best.
I read somewhere that Andrew was like, you should run a panel on freelance. I don't feel like I know what I'm doing enough to do that.
Well, in the end,
I would happily be a part of one.
Everyone takes different paths in the end. You know, some two artists do have the same way, but it's like no one has the exact same route more often than not. It's like there's always going to be variables. There's always going to be something different. Maybe you and your friend who have the exact same art style, they know how to sell themselves better, and they've now gained more per page for some reason because they're just a showman to a degree. Like many different things can happen.
Their style just is in more demand.
Yeah, like I've been doing video stuff for like years, and I find each job pays less.
Strange.
And I just take it because I'm desperate. So there you go. Don't follow my path. I'm going to be a paid writer someday.
Someday.
One of these days I'll make, how much was that per page? 150? 75?
$75?
I'm going to make $75 per page. And I'm going to use double spacing.
You
15 size font. It's got to be great.
Dream big.
Dream big or go home. Lots of indents. No follow-up. Looks like you guys are running out of time to contribute to the finance talk, as fun as it may be. I gotta go talk about the thing. Did you see Looper?
No.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not that I don't like it, but it's just like, what else is there to talk about? Check it out. Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's all like...
What'd you call him? Jogo?
Jogo for show.
Jogo for show?
Yeah. It's crazy. He has this makeup to make him look like Bruce Willis, and it's weird for the first while, but then you just get into it and you're like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of funny.
I've heard that they make him look like Bruce Willis.
It's funny. They just basically... What do they made... You have to see it. It's interesting. It's subtle, I guess. I think the one problem, though, is his eyebrows are a little too dark, and they stand out too much on his face. Like, it's like the only contrast of anything. So they could have lightened up his eyebrows a little. Oh, maybe Bruce Willis had dark eyebrows when he's young.
Maybe.
One can dream. Speaking of dreams, I dreamed a dream of times gone by with Batgirl on her motorcycle in the intro sequence of Adam West's Batman.
Yeah.
Anyway, talking about Gail Simone,
Batgirl.
Batgirl. Yes.
I love Gail Simone.
I
got to sit beside her once.
Oh, did you? That's cool.
It was at the Womanthology panel at C2E2, and she was on it. And
oh, cool.
I was sitting towards the end, and she came in a little later because she's super popular and signs for tons of fans.
Yeah,
and she sat down beside me. I was like, oh.
Give me some of your power. So I kind of just picked this up because it's been, I'm always curious to see what's up with Gail because I've never actually really read much of her stuff. I'm like, I should do this.
She's really funny on Twitter.
I've been following her Twitter. And of the new 52, this one's actually kind of curious because it's one of the few that don't actually reboot. It's actually still in canon with the other stuff, except now Barbara's not in a wheelchair. That's the only major difference. I'm like, all right, why not? And it's got this, let me use my art knowledge, Art Nouveau. Right?
Is it?
Right? Isn't it? Is this Nouveau? Art Nouveau? Art Nouveau looks kind of realistic, but still illustrated? Huh?
Well,
Look it up. Google. Art Nouveau.
Yeah, I know.
I'm right.
I know you're talking
I'm
about.
damn right.
I know you're
Art
talking
Nouveau.
about. I know you're talking
Art
about
Nouveau.
Luca. I know you're talking about that artist. I mean, he's got like that heavy outline, but I would say this is. I don't know if I'd say heavy
Nouveau?
outline always means Art Nouveau.
No, but it's kind of like because I looked up Art Nouveau and it's all these like they look kind of like tarot cards, but it's like.
Mucha.
It's like the skin is very detailed, but it's still like heavy outline, right? It's like a thick black outline, but it's like realistic skin.
Fine, it's Art Nouveau.
Yes, so Batgirl is officially Art Nouveau. Look at me. Nouveau is more floral. She can be floral.
Yeah.
See, look at her hair. It's
All
like
I'm
a bushel.
saying is that in college, one of our
Looks like
assignments
roses.
was to do a drawing that was based on a style, and I just did a heavy outline. I was like, Art Nouveau, right? my teacher was like, no.
You're an idiot.
And walked away. I was like, but I painted this all
Valentine.
because all my assignments.
And you're like,
in the
Art
last hour.
Deco?
Oh, wait, I got it. Baja? no, Dadaism?
There you go, you can get away with it. You just like turn it around and reveal it again. Wait. Yeah.
I like this panel with the cupcakes.
There's a cupcake panel?
Yeah, where she's like, where is it?
No? What? Oh yeah, she takes cupcakes.
Cupcakes. It's just a funny expression.
Oh god. That's a terrifying character. We won't say who it is. So the point is, wait, what? Simone follows me on Twitter, says Maya, and sometimes I worry about posting weird stuff.
She follows
but then
you?
she goes and tweets about Gollum boners.
Was,
and I feel fine again.
when The Hobbit was coming out, it was just like non-stop from her. I was just like, what is happening?
She's a kooky character.
It's so weird.
So yes, Batgirl, New 52, this is the first trade. The second one came out in hardcover, which I'm waiting for the next one, and I will say now I thoroughly enjoyed it. Rarely, now granted I don't really read too many superhero comics these days, and maybe I have a poor impression of most superheroes, but like, I really enjoyed the monologue, because like, she'll get like punched and be like, ow, 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 that hurt, kind of thing. Like, she just says kind of like dumb little things I really like.
Nice.
Like, very more realistic as opposed to like, and there's a lot of inner monologue and stuff too, but honestly, the first few pages, my heart was pounding.
Really?
Like, I was really, it was just a basic thug fight. It wasn't even like a big boss or nothing, but it was just like, the narrative paired with the action, for whatever reason, really got me going. I was like, I'm like, this is like Harry Potter on the broom. Like, I'm feeling this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever, like, once again, I don't read too many books, but when I read Harry Potter all those years ago, Quidditch was my favorite parts because
being at the cottage,
Quidditch is the stupidest sport ever made. But the way she writes it, I'm just like, holy crap! Like, he's dive bombing and in the crowd. I'm like, it's all surreal, and I feel like this was really written like not like Quidditch, but it got me like, oh, she's like she's not invulnerable, but like she's punching and she missed the landing, and and so like I just really got into it.
Nice.
So thumbs up. Gail Simone Batgirl. You rarely see me like things these days.
Yeah, I know.
So that's high praises.
That's excellent.
I'm looking forward to the second one. Plot-wise, I enjoyed it. Like, because the thing we had with Batwoman was we loved the art, but a bunch of the plot was really Scooby-Doo. It was like,
oh,
Batwoman.
Batwoman.
It's like,
awesome.
oh man, this Batwoman's
like,
badass. Ghost mysteries!
I was like, huh?
Someone's kidnapping the children's.
I think I don't know. I think it was part of some canon I wasn't expecting. So I was like, oh.
I'm like, I was expecting less ghost mystery in my superhero.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just picky. But no, I enjoyed Batgirl. It was well done. I like her character. I love that. The one thing with Batman is, I haven't read too much Batman, but it's just like, I feel like there's not too much weight to his shit. Because he's just kind of...
His family was murdered!
But I mean, it's just like, there's no one really he holds it to now. Like, she has Commissioner Gordon, who's always looks sad and mopey. But he's basically Charlie from friggin' Twilight, but at least, Barbara gives him respect, unlike Bella. Like, he's just this, like, hardworking guy who's seen some shit, but he still loves his family and stuff. And it's like, you feel so bad for Gordon that she has to keep this from him. Or maybe it's worse if he knew.
I think it'd be worse.
And maybe he sort of knows, but he's not going to say nothing. I don't know.
It's kind of like they don't quite... It's like there's this big battle coming, and he's just like... like, what do you even say?
But it's just so much weight just on her being Batgirl. That's more than, like, this revenge thing. And also, because I haven't really read up this, because the New 52, this one's not actually a reboot. This kind of continues. I have no idea why she actually is Batgirl or where she buys these motorcycles. But the point is, it's like it's just interesting having her. And the other interesting thing is, unlike all the other, Batman, Robin, Nightwing, whatever, she doesn't have the white eyes.
Oh, yeah,
like, you see her face, and she's jolly happy most of the time, which is really nice.
Yeah, she's freaking cute.
Yeah. And so she has, I feel like she has more at risk than Bruce does. Like, she has more of a Spider-Man kind of lifestyle where this shit could ruin her family. Mm-hmm. What's left of it kind of thing. But,
Yeah.
So it's a good read. I enjoyed it. Thoroughly recommend. If you haven't checked it out yet, check out New 52 Batgirl. Gail Simone.
Nice.
Yeah, she kicks around Nightwing a bit. It's great.
It's awesome. I want to draw a Batgirl comic.
Do it. What will be Fan Art Friday? What happened to that?
Oh, done. I'll
draw
do
Batgirl
tonight.
It was interesting. I remember this Halloween, I was in the costume shop. Actually, no, it was a comic shop that had a costume section. And it had, like, I spotted, like, 3 different Batgirl costumes. There's, of course, sexy Batgirl. And then there's, like, purple-black Batgirl. Then, like, a different color, like orange, like, or no, there's purple, yellow, black, where she has yellow inside the cape.
Was that like the
But then there's like a lighter.
cartoon,
I don't know, but it was interesting that
Tim Batgirl?
it was interesting that she has so many different color schemes to go with, you know.
Yeah.
And the long
I like
hair.
that she's
back.
always a redhead.
Yeah.
I love Batgirl. I mean, it just takes me back to being a kid where it's like you're watching the Adam West show and the purple motorcycle shows up and you're like, yes!
Oh my god, for
Batgirl!
whatever reason. Like, even on the Kevin Smith Tara Strong
talking
thing,
about-
he mentions that it's just like, for whatever reason, you just get excited
You're like,
that the bike come by. Just because, for me, it was just because it was different. It's like, oh, there's a special episode. Yeah, it's like, oh, she's gonna be in it running around with her wig because she didn't actually have the long hair. She had
like
thick hair.
short blonde hair and I was like, no!
But the wig made sense, because right now, wouldn't it be like, oh, there's that Ginger again, looks a lot like your daughter, isn't she, Gordy? And he's like, ah, gosh. It's like when the episode of Sailor Moon that baffles me to this day, because I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a magical field that people can't recognize her. She's on the party boat with the gem that had to be protected, and her dad takes a photo of her.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh, Serena / Usagi would like this photo of this girl with the meatball hair.
Who looks
I'm gonna hold it
exactly
beside
like
her
her."
head and give it to her and be like, hey, Usagi-chan, she looks just like you. Isn't that nice? Bye. I'm going to work.
I think it's the magic, though, that
No.
there's some kind of magical thing
People are
going on
dumb.
that makes you forget. Because, I mean, all they do is put little tiaras on their head, and suddenly it's like,
Yeah. But she didn't have a tiara. She did the magic dress.
oh, yeah.
Like, unless it's like Dead Like Me, where the
Oh,
casts
yeah.
only look like they do, but everyone else sees them as someone else, more depressingly.
I think that's it. I think that's
It might be that. Like,
people
maybe
say that was Superman. Or Dad used to say that Superman
vibrated,
vibrates.
so you can't get a
can't
good
see
focus
him.
on him. He's always like, so you can't really see him clearly all the time.
So everybody makes those cracks at Lois being like the worst journalist ever.
But the thing is, she had a comic called Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane, not Clark's girlfriend. And on the cover was her getting married to Clark, and she's holding his hand, and she's like, why couldn't it be Superman? And in her mind, it's her marrying Superman, dressed as Superman. I'm like, look to your left!
It's so sad.
Oh my
I
god.
freaking love it when
I
moms
love
figure it
superhero
out.
comic
I wish
covers.
they'd come out
They're
with like
so good.
another 52 of just like the weird cornballs.
I want New
stuff.
53,
I want it to just be stupid.
which is like, they go back
and
to
not
Golden
taking itself
Era.
seriously.
And all the plots are like Superman's surprise birthday party, but Batman forgot the cake. But I want it drawn by like all the modern guys, so it's badass.
It's really gritty.
I want like the Killing Joke art.
Or it's like that creepy Craig McCracken. Like,
Yes, I want Asylum.
Not Craig McCracken, but yeah, like
I want Ashley Wood
Arkham Asylum by Ashley
working
Wood.
on this. Jesus Christ, I forgot the cake. Stabs Joker, runs to the cake shop, realizes his sins, and then he's like, add flowers. Yes, I want the cookie filling.
So freaky.
Get the cookie push cake.
It would be like Ben Templesmith and Ashley Wood.
See, if I can fund any
And
Kickstarter,
like Jonan Vasquez.
I would do that. I'm like, I want it written by the 50s guys, but drawn by like all our favorites.
Oh my god.
It'd be so good.
That'd be amazing.
But that got me thinking, because I was at BMV recently, and we picked up 2 issues of Jimmy Olsen. The old one, where it's called Superman's Pal, Jimmy Olsen, and he has the power of the Midas touch. He's turning everything to gold. I love that was the funny part with Jimmy Olsen.
It's Jimmy Olsen. Superman's pal.
Yeah. And then I picked up a newer one, which was in like maybe the late 90s. It was still called Superman's Pal, but it was more badass and full of Jimmy Olsen mysteries. But he still had the damn tie.
Jimmy Olsen mysteries.
But he still had the damn like tie in this day and age. And I'm like, he had to keep true to that because you can't change that.
I freaking love
But it just got me thinking, like, if I could be approached, like if DC's like, holy balls, we love your work on whatever. Do you want to write a DC comic? I'm like, I want to write Jimmy Olsen mysteries, and I want to write it like it's still the 50s.
I want to draw Jimmy Olsen's mysteries.
Yeah, I'm like, because I think I can have some fun with
Oh
that.
my gosh. If anybody has any connections out there, we really want to do Jimmy
If there's
Olsen
any writer who's
mysteries.
like, oh god, I gotta sign Jimmy Olsen, I really want to do Deadpool or something.
Yeah, we'll take Jimmy
It's like,
Olsen.
we'll take Jimmy off your hands.
Gladly, we will totally.
It's like the Shanahangs once again knock it out of the park. This Jimmy Olsen New 52 reboot. Holy balls.
Yes.
Oh man, that'd be fun. I want to buy some of those now. Unfortunately, I bought the new one and didn't buy the old Jimmy Olsen. But the thing is, I feel like the cover is more fun than the book itself.
I don't know.
'Cause
Where do you collect those covers on Super Dickory?
You go to superdickory.com.
And if you guys haven't been there, this is a
It's
treat.
it's the treasure trove of just awful superhero activity. Like this one of like Superman and Batman, I think, or it was like Green Arrow, someone had like Robin and Superboy digging their own graves. And this is on the cover, and it's supposed to intrigue you.
I was like, how does this make sense?
And as my friend was telling me, he's like, sometimes they drew the cover first and then had to figure out how to put it in the comic. Like this stuff like, oh no, Superman, I'm now marrying a gorilla. And he's like, you get what you paid for, Lois. You know? It's like these awful shenanigans. And you're like, why doesn't this happen anymore? I would still buy these comics.
Oh my god.
Oh, they are so funny. There's different sections too. There's just like Wonder Woman bondage covers. There's friggin' Superman being a dick. And then there's just like baffling things. Like I recently picked up a baffling one. This will actually tie back to why I have that one. We can show it again for the new audience if you want. I picked up one for Katie.
Oh,
Where is it?
Right. This was my Valentine's
I saw this.
Day
This is
gift.
my Valentine's gift. It looks
She-Hulk.
very romantic.
Moonlight, music, and machismo.
Yes. So there's a
She's
place
like,
in Kensington Market in Toronto that opened up recently called Kensington Comics. I think I talked about it briefly. If you like long boxes and comic shops to flip through all the oldies, this store is basically one ginormous unorganized long box. The walls are literally covered with just 12 or so deep of these, any order, any issue. That's where I started looking at the Gen 13s, being like, oh, I never read these yet. All it is those. And one of them I picked up was like Animal Man. Something like that. I have no idea who he is. He's a DC schlub. And the cover was him looking all like...
What is this?
We'll get to that in a sec.
Talking
The cover was Animal Man like, huh? And there's a chicken, and the chicken just laid an egg, and like a triceratops came out of the egg. But the best part is the chicken, it looks like a normal chicken, like an illustrated chicken, but he has a little thought bubble with a question mark in it, and the chicken's like, huh? Kind of thing. And it's just like... I haven't even opened it. I just want it for the cover because these Golden Age and post Golden, Silver, whatever covers are just a treat, just to look at because they're supposed to intrigue you.
You know what's great about them too? Like the old ads.
Yeah,
like
Three Musketeers.
The Three Musketeers ads where they go into the temple and find the Three Musketeers bar. No, this is what I was looking at. This baseball one. The Rocket. He goes, "These cards are hotter than my fastball." That's amazing. Look at this guy.
That's kind of great.
This is awesome. 1992
There
ads.
you go. There you go. That's a trip too when you read those little magazines. It's always like Hubba Bubba and stupid ads for stuff from the past, like
I love it.
Sonic's cartoon series and stuff.
Oh man. Oh god, they got the Terminator 2 Judgment Day video.
There you go. That was on the back of every comic.
Check that out. Classic.
Terminator 2 on the not PlayStation, Nintendo and Genesis.
NES and Game Boy.
Super, and Game Boy, of
Love
course.
it.
And Game Boy.
Oh, so
Oh,
retro.
man. Oh, Uncle
The
Steve's
in-game
there.
graphics are so ridiculous.
If you missed it, we did the intro song, actually.
We totally played
have to
your
catch it
intro
next
song
time.
in the beginning.
You have to catch it next time.
Yeah, actually.
Actually, there was one more I got. If you want to check this out. It's I Heart Marvel, My Mutant Heart. Check this out. Featuring Wolverine, some other guy, and this blubbery thing
What?
called Dupe. And it's like a shoujo Wolverine.
No way! Is that Hawkeye?
I don't know what it is, but you can have it. I didn't open it.
Holy crap.
Check it out.
What?
Check it
That's
out.
adorable.
It's Valentine's theme, I guess. There you
Look
go.
at this.
I have no idea.
What is happening?
Also, if you're just joining us, I got sent some mustache duct tape.
I got a mustache necklace from Idness.
There you go. Just to catch you guys up. Also, to catch you guys up, I'm probably going to win $30 million tonight. So,
Sweet.
that'll be good. Hopefully. No, I will.
Comics.
Yes. Heard it here first, folks. Hopefully. What else is there? Actually, speaking of return comics, though.
Oh, there's not as much shoujo going on inside.
Yeah, the cover once again sold
I was
me.
hoping it would look more shoujo.
Yeah. It's not like, well, did anyone ever read Mary Jane Loves Spider-Man? Where it's like
I've seen
the
them, but I never
Spider-Man for Girls comic? Not that it's for girls, but Spider-Man for Girls.
It's very changed for everyone.
It wasn't. I forget if it was actually shoujo style, but I thought it was really trying to get that market.
Yeah, it had a cute style.
Marvel really pushed their manga side.
Yeah.
Some of it, I don't know if it worked. But what does work, of course, is Karamori's Bride Story,
Oh,
Volume 4.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
So good, so good.
I love.
Bride Story is really
Her
well
art
done.
is
We talked about it last week, so, check it out.
Oh,
Is there anything else
she's
was
so
returning?
good. She's so good.
I think that's everything. Yeah, that's all my books.
Sweet. I'm gonna eat discount chocolate and read Bridesmaid.
Exactly.
It's a good day to teleport.
Was his costume pink? Was he talking about Wolverine? I'm not sure.
No.
Unfortunately, no.
Where'd I put it? Vanished. Oh, it's here. Well, the shirt's pink, I guess.
Maybe.
Green.
It's how Metro.
Very Metro.
You can hang on to that. I don't want it. Once again, if you're in Toronto, check out Kensington Comics in Kensington Market. A little tricky to find, but definitely it is worth going to if you have no idea what you want and you don't care to find them in order. I found issues of Gen 13. What else did I find? I found some dumb things. It's just the covers alone are worth checking out. I'm not even like a big long box guy. Like if I go to cons, here's the thing. We were at San Diego, no, not even Comic Con, let's just say a Fan Expo. So Fan Expo Toronto. You're like, oh, there's definitely the horror section. It's all dark and bloody and stuff. Oh, there's the steampunk section. It's all metallic and bronze and stuff and steampunky. Oh, there's the anime. It's all plushes and colors. Then there's this section that's all yellow and papery and white and sweaty. And that's the long boxes, where this is the comic side of the Comic Con.
I tend to scoot by the long
we
boxes.
never go over there.
I gotta say though, I used to because I was looking for some like rare old comics that I really wanted to continue, and I'd be like,
bright red and blue. People flip, like it's a record store.
Always flipping.
So the thing was, I never really did that, but at Kensington Comics, it got kind of fun after a while. Because there's not much else to do in there, honestly. You better get into it, else you're just going to be like,
Just like that. That was so sad.
I picked up two other things which I want to read first before I give to you. There's one Witchblade animated, which looks like kind of like that cutesy Bruce Timm style, I guess.
Oh, it's cuter.
Maybe cuter than that. Well, there's another one. There's another one that's called Tinker or something. It's like some Christmas elf, and it's in that kind of style, but it's not the Timverse style. It's another artist who does...
Oh, he had some...
What's his name?
Cutesy little elf girl.
Yeah, I bought the first one of those.
I know what you're talking about, because I always wanted to get them as a kid, but then in the Previews magazine they were rated mature. I was
really?
What?
Oh, is that? Oh, they're that old?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, the point is... but I guess my thing with the long boxes, I definitely prefer like the trade. Like we got Batgirl over there. I wouldn't buy Batgirl individually, because it's just going to... I don't know where to put them. When I travel with them, they're going to get torn up. Yeah. I like a good trade, graphic novel, whatever you want to call it.
Like something that can hold up in a bag.
Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of buying the single issues. Like I do sometimes. Like I recently actually got all the available Bravest Warriors.
Oh, nice.
Because I was over at the Big Island and they had this one was signed. Actually, that was nice.
Oh,
check
cute.
that out. Got some Bravest Warriors, and the interesting thing is some of these covers make the book $50. Like there's all these variant covers for Bravest Warriors by all these like big web artists or whatever. And, like, it makes them really expensive after a while. But I was just looking for, like, the standard cheap seats, If you haven't checked it out, check out Bravest Warriors on Cartoon Hangover. Absolutely free on YouTube. There's, like, 8 or so episodes now, I think. And they're, like, 7 minutes long. I love the format. Really nice. Very silly. And, this whole kind of trend right now of a lot of our most well-known web comic creators are all working on these, like, Penn Ward properties and stuff like that. And,
I know like the so many people who did the covers for Adventure Time.
Yeah, the Adventure Time comic. Let's look at the back here. We have there's one here. This is the Fiona and Cake comic. This is just an ad for it. But so people are working on it.
People who've got amazing
people whose Tumblrs you follow are working on it.
Are working on covers and inside art and like so good.
Right.
So good.
But that's probably actually why I started buying these ones, because I'm like, how do they write them? Let's study this.
Yeah, written and illustrated by Natasha Alighieri, who created Fiona and Cake.
There you go.
So freaking cute.
Pretty boss.
I love it. I just want to get the trade with every...
I have the trade for the first Adventure Time, actually, if you want to borrow that.
Please.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to, yeah, it's really nice.
Let's go back a bit. So Sarah says, haven't even watched Adventure Time yet. We'll do yourself a favor. If you got Monday off, go to an Adventure Time.
Yeah. Go have yourself.
Either get the DVDs or watch online, however you got to do it. You just gotta know what's happening. Because I haven't watched any regular show yet, and everyone's like, "This is the bee's knees," and I'm like, has like a blue jay and something else in it. I haven't seen any of it yet.
This is Tyson Hess.
Oh, is that kick punchers
dude
or
from
chop
Vancouver.
kickers? What's
No, Diesel.
No, that's the other thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
but we were hanging out in Vancouver with a bunch of them. Yeah.
So we're hanging out with the people who drew the covers. Look at that.
Super cool.
Look at that.
Super cool.
See, it's bleh.
I love it.
It's there.
I love how
It's everyone you know are working on these comics. That's why you guys just got to keep up your work, keep up your portfolios, keep up your websites, make that content. You know, just enjoy what you're doing.
Make friends, you know, because all these artist people are so nice.
I gotta make friends.
Just shout out people on the internet.
Boxer hockey.
Boxer hockey.
Do we get boxer hockey?
Do we what?
Do we have boxer hockey? Wasn't it like a sport with a frog? It's like the major league and there's a frog
I think
or
Heather
something?
has it.
I wanted to read that. I really like the art. I was at the table.
I got one of his books.
I want to read.
Okay.
I'll
give you the book.
I'll buy the book.
Yeah, I will give it to you.
Dude, interesting. What did I miss in the last 4 minutes? I was tending to my brother who was poisoned by Subway Sandwich Corporation.
Eee.
Well, that sucks. Speaking of Subway sandwiches, did you know that if you buy a Subway sandwich and you get a receipt on the back, there's like, hey, what up? We have a survey and you get a free cookie. So I just go to the website every time, fill out yes, and I get free cookies all the damn time.
Oh, genius.
So, like, I have not spent any money on cookies this year. Look at me.
Nice. Again, Freelance 101 here on
There you go. These are the tips, man. If you want to go on the cheap, but you want like a full meal, like Subway's outside of the ones that poison you.
Yeah.
Aren't that
Maybe
bad
we should
because
be endorsing it
for like
afterwards.
$3 you get like an egg salad sub, and then if you fill out the survey, you got a cookie and tap water. Hey, it's free, baby. So it's just you got to go out and live on the cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can buy sandwich meats and bread, maybe. But time is money. Making that sandwich is costing you valuable time that you could be spending doing your work. So you gotta find that balance. You gotta find, like it's grocery shopping. Grocery shopping, I find, costs me more time than it would cost to not go grocery shopping. Which is true. But the point is, it's like I have this weird balance where, like, if I go grocery shopping, I'm there for like hours. I'm lugging bags back, and I feel angry at the world.
Dude.
But if I just like, let's pop on over and get me a shawarma, then it's like, I save time. I'm not making my own shawarma, which would take hours.
Yeah, you'd have to get one of those beef things. And
Yeah, I don't have one of those. Don't tell me I'm saving money buying my own shawarma shredder.
Yeah.
Sure, it pays for itself after the first 500 shawarmas, but I don't know, man. It's just like... Who knows? Dumpster diving. My friends do it. Yeah, there you go.
Don't dumpster dive.
Don't do that. But hey, Craigslist has free sections too.
No.
Get a lot of furniture that way.
Don't go into garbages.
I was thinking of doing...
I don't endorse that.
I was thinking of doing a reality show where me and my friends, let's say a friend gets a new apartment. And me and my friends go, we're going to furnish this apartment absolutely free. And then we just follow us going to every Craigslist and just getting everything we can get. Because one time I was like, I need a hat rack or a coat rack. And a friend of mine's like, I have one. I'm like, okay. And I just went over and got
And
it.
they were like, I want bed bugs.
Didn't pay nothing. I don't want bed bugs.
Yeah, but just be careful what you get off
Yeah.
Craigslist.
But that's what I'm thinking. Like, if I could just decide to do this show all of a sudden, I think like, I don't know, A&E would be all about, or History Channel would love it.
History Channel is all about.
They'd be all about this. He's trying to furnish his... We're the History Channel, damn it. We want 5 seasons.
Yeah, what's going on with that?
He's doing nothing historical of value?
I'm very disappointed.
Get us a contract.
I used to love the History Channel.
What the hell's World War II? We want this house furnishing show.
I think if someone went, well, what's happening now will be history tomorrow, and they went,
They all stood up clapping.
yeah.
And I'm like, ugh.
It's like when your teacher catches you reading like a celebrity magazine in class or something. You're like, but teacher, and then you say that line.
Yeah.
And then all the other students.
History is like all of them go like, na na na, na na na. I got a small shelf by dumpster diving. There's so many things I wanted to take off the street, but I'm like, how many people already lay on it?
Well, I wouldn't take a mattress.
Yeah. No, as a kid though, I was like, when I'm grown up, I'm gonna take everything off the street and build a clubhouse.
Yeah.
And now that I'm a grown up, I'm like, everything's gross.
Yeah.
That's what kids don't appreciate.
Yeah.
Shit be gross, son.
Yeah. That's because like kids will like, kids are gross.
Yeah. Kids like blend in with it.
Yeah. Just like Pigpen from.
In Montreal, everyone moves on the same day in the summer, which is nice.
That's cool.
So you get a ton of stuff. Yeah, there you go.
What you need to do is go dumpster diving in like rich neighborhoods, because then you get good stuff.
I got a copy of the Sex and the City board game off my lawn when someone moved. We finished it in one night.
Nice.
We just read trivia. Basically, if you guess Samantha, you're 50% right.
Yeah, it's like 1 in 4 chance you'll get anything right.
I did pretty good.
Like Samantha.
Pretty much. But yeah, definitely this is. And also, it's like keep tabs on your friends. Like if they're moving, like sometimes they don't want stuff. Because a bunch of the stuff in my house I got from someone who was like moving to Japan. Nice. I gave her a couple bucks too, because I'm like, I'm taking your crap. But like my desk with the rollout thing, another desk, like the record hutch. A bunch of the kitchen table, like the major furniture I own, like the only things I actually own are like the IKEA shelves, basically. Because I love IKEA shelves. Creep was saying it's really bad here because it's always raining, so the college kids with their couches on the lawn move out and leave all their gross moldy furniture out for free. See, that's why I want to move to like LA where all the free shit is clean and dry.
I just want to go where it's sunny all the time.
Well, because do you ever remember reading like Bloom County? And they always hung out on that couch on the hill. I'm like, what a novel idea. Yeah. But I'm like, here, it's going to be covered in snow, full of badgers. I'm like, what's the point? It's going to be gross.
I want no badgers in my relaxing.
So, like, I would have, like, a couch if we lived in Palm Tree County.
Do you remember, though, we were in California? It was just beautiful every day.
Yeah, we're drinking cucumber cola.
Cucumber cola.
Yeah, it was a time.
Wandering about, going palm trees.
Taking photos of cacti.
Yeah.
It was a great time.
So good.
I missed that.
I do too.
But at the same time, I do also enjoy winter because I get to wear a badass coat.
Yeah, you can't really do that in hot weather.
Yeah. In my town, college kids would urine dick couches. Hope not urine. Burn. Can't English. Okay. Burn the couches. So they have like a couch burn. Is this like a homecoming? They have like a couch burning.
Wow.
And there's that scene from Indiana Jones when like the Nazi girl's like. And they're burning all the couches. She like works for IKEA or something. And she's like,
that was such a random like.
I don't know.
It took me a second to like book burning.
Yeah, I just thought I'd be that guy. 'Cause if they had like this really nice sofa couch which I used to sleep on, I'd be like. And then Harrison Ford's like, "Where's the book, Fraulein?
All I have to do is squeeze.
All I have to do is scream."
I love that movie.
I just filled out my second, says year visa application for Australia. That's pretty hot there.
What's going on in Australia?
Creepy bugs, don't go there.
Yeah.
Tudor says, my couch is full of badgers. Shaky world problems. I would assume so. Pretty much. And the couches from the student residence. In my neighborhood, deserted couches end up in the forest. By the bar and grocery store for drunks to use. That's nice.
Sounds delightful.
Doesn't matter. That's nice. Australia is full of animals created specifically to be terrifying and deadly. This is great purpose. Although I really love to visit.
No spiders.
Spiders are scary. A friend of mine's in Australia right now, but I assume like in Sydney there's no bugs. Like they've like cleared them out.
People will post pictures of like house spiders in Sydney. And
no.
Like,
no.
I know people who live there where like you open up your like.
No. I want to hear the story.
A guy in my group.
Go for it. I don't care.
So like,
my water. It's empty.
I want to tell the story. It's like there's this thing called the huntsman. That's like this giant spider. Went to go pour some cereal, and you look in the cereal box, and it was like in the box, and like uncurled its
Burn the box, not the couch.
Can't.
Burn the cereal.
Can't.
No.
And then Kristen, our friend, was in Sydney, and she said she was like in the bathroom, and she saw these huge legs go behind the mirror. And she had to go to the person who owned the house to get rid of it, and they were just like, ugh, and like shucked it out the window. Like, shook it out. And I was just like, ah!
No. I'm not going to Australia. Let's go to New Zealand.
I love it though, like you and me though. It's like I'm so scared of them, but like I like telling these stories. And then when we went to see The Hobbit, you and me were in front of the row, like,
yeah. It's like, not this chapter. I thought we were going to wait for that.
So we're not going to see the second movie, but.
No, I'm gonna skip it. I just want to go straight to Smog. I'm like,
I know.
Come.
Dragons are cool.
Yeah.
Spiders are not cool.
I'm like, Sherlock, sing to me. How do you feel about Malcolm McDowell playing Alan Grimmer Show?
Malcolm McDowell.
Did a license happen without us?
Malcolm McDowell.
Wait, is he the guy from... Oh, God. Was he the guy from the Star Trek movie who was like, the Genesis?
McDowell.
And was he also from that video game series that Mark Hamill was also in?
I'm going to share screen so you can
Star
see
thing?
what I'm talking about.
Thing? What?
Okay, so this
Yeah, him. He was in that Star Trek movie, right? Generations?
I don't know about him as an Alan Grimmer Show. I don't know. I don't know how he acts.
I want like a Christopher Lee impersonator. That's basically who it would have to be. Like the party Christopher Lee.
In mind.
I'd cast party Christopher Lee, basically.
Yeah.
Someone who does Christopher Lee at parties. Because, you know, what kid doesn't want Sodom in the White at his, like, bar mitzvah?
Yeah, right?
You know how it is. Tank Girl.
Sodom in the White at my bar mitzvah.
Who said Tank Girl?
Oh, I think it's because she has purple hair.
The Sydney funnel web is the most deadly. I'm done with this.
Oh, he's in Tank Girl and A Clockwork Orange.
Oh, he is?
Oh my gosh.
He's in Clockwork Orange?
He's the main young guy.
Get out!
That was I think it was in the 70s.
I haven't even seen it yet.
It's pretty disturbing.
I heard. It's not a jolly time.
No, it's pretty savage.
Yeah, it's not speaking of it again.
No. But I don't know. I'd have to see his casting hall. Make further judgments.
Something about couches and a broken bedroom closet is filled with live. What?
No!
Wait, TV dinner. Where the hell are you? Are you in Australia?
No.
It says my bedroom closet is filled with live tarantulas and scorpions.
No, it's not.
Wait, what do you mean both?
No.
You don't have both.
Stop it. TV dinner.
One or the other.
Stop it.
Choose.
Stop it.
I know he's in Tank Girl. Was Tank Girl any good? I'm in BC. Oh, they're my pets. Okay.
Okay. No, we thought it was like infestation.
Yeah, I'm like, listen here, Home Alone. Like, what is this?
Yeah, no, that's
because he had a tarantula, didn't he, in Home Alone?
Jungle to Jungle.
Oh, yeah, that too. But Home Alone, he had it. No, it was his brothers, wasn't
His
it?
brother had a tarantula.
And the mom's on the plane like,
I've heard they make lovely pets.
Oh yeah, no, they're great.
I'm sure they're super lovely. We're not insulting your pets. We get the squeebies.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're relevant to his interests. There you go. Good. Have them both. Go do that. Stay in BC. Clockwork Orange. Yeah, Tank Girl. Did anyone see Tank Girl?
I saw Tank Girl.
Have you read Tank Girl? Do we have Tank Girl?
No, I've only read that one weird Odyssey one, which was kind of weird.
Good way to describe it.
It's one of those ones I should pick up because it's kind of one of those. I don't know. I think it was one of the big indie comics. Where it was like.
It should be a part of like my '90s retro revisited.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as I told you guys last week, Gen 13. I'm trying to figure it out, but man, the trades are really hard to get a hand on because they're well, not that they're like some of them are rare, but there's a bunch of them around, but none of them collect all of them. It's like issues 1 to 7, issues 17 to 27, a side issue plus a side issue for the next year. Yeah. Issue 42 and 45. I'm like, why do you bother?
At least it's
Stop
not like,
collecting these.
At least it's not like cartoon or animation trades where it's like the Christmas episodes.
Oh my
the
god.
best of episodes featuring the character with the yellow shirt.
When they first,
I want it in order.
When they first came out with the Adventure Time DVD, the Cartoon Network just messed with everyone. No, yes, Cartoon Network, right? Yeah. They just messed with everyone. And even Penn Ward had no control over it. And they're just like, our favorite episodes. I'm like, stop being a dick. And they're like, well, if these sell well, we'll then do the seasons. I'm like, do the seasons because they'll sell well.
Yeah, because so they're totally holding you ransom.
I'm like, oh my god.
Random DVDs.
What asshats.
People want to see stuff in order.
Because, like, back in the day, it's, yeah, you said, like, you collect all the Christmas episodes, sure. But it's like, SpongeBob, any episode involving aviation. And I'm like, no, just give us the season.
Yeah, I want to watch all of them.
Like, a kid can open a DVD collection as much as one stupid box. Like, it works.
Yeah.
Like, back in the day, we had Ren and Stimpy, and it was all, like, thematic VHSs. You never get the whole series.
Yeah.
But, like, if you watch, like, Angry Video Game Nerd talk about, James Garofalo, talk about... the Ninja Turtles DVDs, none of them make sense. Like, they are so completely out of order, and no one's ever going to re-release them making sense. It's so frustrating that it's just like, there's worse problems out there, sure. But it's just, in the case of being a fan, it's frustrating that it's just like, number it. Like, anime was a huge problem back in the day. I keep saying back in the day because I assume they're better now. But, like, Pioneer, I don't know if they call that anymore. But they were the guys who did, like, Tenchi, El Hazard, maybe Pat Liber, no, that was US Manga, I think. Bunch of them, and they're like, their DVDs, they did Trigun too as well, but their DVDs are like, episodes 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm like, which volume is the disc? Yeah. Because I'm not going to, like, read all the descriptions on the back. I don't remember which one I got last. Like, I've read... Because if you're picking up, like, 3 anime DVDs, you didn't write down, okay, so I watched episodes 17, 18, 19 of this series, 45, 46% of that series, whereas 47, 48, 49, and 67... Yeah. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. Yeah. Number your discs. All you gotta do. It's that simple. Number your discs.
Yep.
Maybe they do now.
Yep.
Anime comes out in slim packs now, so whatever.
Yeah.
It's more manageable. Shire is sad they canceled Young Justice and Motor City. I didn't see Motor City yet.
Motor City looks really good from what I've seen. And, like, the animations are really cool.
Isn't Tron also on the way out?
Yeah, I think so.
Because they don't have any idea how to air it properly.
Yep.
It's like Family Channel at 10 at night.
Yeah.
No ratings on the Family Channel at 10 at night.
This must be the audience.
Wow. It's like, dude, air your crap properly.
Yeah.
Number your discs and air your crap. Don't burn your couches.
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah. Well, comic book. I saw when I was a kid. Wait, what's going on? Really hard when I heard the spiders are going to be here soon. What the hell? I saw it when I was a kid and I loved it, but then I found out the comic and the movie was pretty stupid in comparison. Not sure what Hannah's talking about. Sorry, I missed that conversation. In any case, figure your stuff out. It's that simple. Not Hannah, I mean the friggin' industry. You know, when you're releasing things. It's that simple. We should be about wrapping up. What am I getting texts about? Oh, that's something else. Not important. Is there anything else out on the list or anything else you guys want to talk about? Because it's Friday, it's the weekend, we can party, have a good time. As long as they don't cancel Korra, everything will be fine. After that ending, please.
Give it a chance. Give it a chance.
Yeah.
Give it a chance. Give it a chance.
Watched our previous episode. It might have been titled, I Hate the Ending of Korra. How dare. I'm not sure.
No.
But the Coles notes, they friggin' ruined Amon. Like, nah. If you haven't seen it, nah. I liked his stance. Anyway. The integrity of everything.
Yeah.
And, of course, boop. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Boop, indeed. I was talking about Tank Girl, says Hannah. Yes. Wait, there was a series?
Yeah, it was a comic series.
Oh, I thought you meant an animated series.
Oh.
I found the comic, and then the movie was pretty stupid in comparison.
It was a live action movie.
I think the movie was like really loosely based on the source material, though.
Was that dude also Koopa in the Super Mario Bros. Super movie?
No, that was a different guy, I think.
Okay.
But Malcolm McDowell was in Wing Commander, the game series with Mark Hamill, right? Maybe. I think so. He's an interesting guy. He shows up everywhere. Kind of pops around. He shows up in places. They have writers this season. Are they talking about Korra?
BAM!
They hired some writers this time. Like,
who's
what?
being sassy?
Oh, sorry. Sassy. We were talking about dim sum. We were talking about discount chocolates. We were talking about Bravest Warrior comics. We were talking about Kazu. Oh my gosh.
I think we're out of topics.
I think that's it. Unless I pull out a backup topic. It was almost 10 o'clock. Should I pull out the backup topic, or are we already having a good time?
Pull the backup topic. As long as it's not
okay.
heavy.
We'll skip that one. There's one thing that comes up, because I work with books, apparently. And people say stuff like, you know, I have this book that, I always read it when I'm in this mood, and it reminds me of my this and that, and it was special to me because I read it at this special time. Do you folks have that novelette where it was like, I read it when I was at this time and I identified with it? What was it, Great Expectations, or one of those books? Isn't that the one? What's the one where it's like the kid and life is miserable?
Probably Great Expectations.
Yeah. Does any of you have that book out there? Are you just like, I read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, had a good time as a kid, and I identify with all the, like, any of the, do you have anything like that? Like a book, or maybe a CD, or a movie?
When I was...
I don't know why I'm asking so aggressively. I'm just like...
I got
rephrase.
Well, I mean, movies, I find, it's like there's tons of movies that you like that you can watch again.
But like, not as much as like watch again, but it's like, this was important to me, because this was at a time where I really needed what this had.
Oh, like it had some actual comfort.
Yeah, like weights or something like that. And do you guys have anything like that too? Like you're like, this one book or CD or whatever. Maya says, nope.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff is so fantasy based that it's kind of hard to identify. Which doesn't sound very successful for the book because you're supposed to identify with characters.
Oops.
Gosh. I don't know, because like I was always working on my own stories, right? Yeah. And mostly I'd really like the art stuff, and that's what I identify with. But
and it just seemed like something that was coming up a lot in my work, where people were just like, I have this one book. Or,
I don't know. Yeah.
Maya says I might be dead inside.
Yeah, I think I'm also dead inside.
Uncle C says, City Hunter, the Jackie Chan film, so dumb but always makes me happy.
Yeah, there's lots of movies I like to watch that make me happy. I just can't pick one that...
Is that the one where the kid has the Game Boy without the game in it? The famous scene? Where the kid's playing this game. It's either a Game Boy or Game Gear. And there's no cartridge game. And everyone who's a gamer is like... There's nothing in it.
And they're like... Oh.
Yeah, he hands it to like the kid. He's like, here you go. And he's like, oh, I love video games.
I mean, there's certain things that will always make me kind of capture a feeling of a time, a space and time, like the Scion of Shannara books, or really? Secret of Mana, the game.
Yes,
Secret
of Mana.
I'm 12 years old again, just like
that's a pivotal.
On Easter morning, like
that's a big
one. Final Fantasy VII was one of those big games for me because it's like you got to cross-dress your main character. I rented it from Blockbusters, and when I got to that scene where you had to like dress up Cloud to try and get into the brothel, I was like, I need to buy this game.
I was like, I need to find the beautiful panties and the brassiere and the wig
and the perfect wig.
Yeah, it was a very different. It was a very different game, I guess. Yeah, most heroes weren't dressing up.
Oh gosh, but the thing is, they don't have an aisle like that in a toy shop.
Yeah, there's no aisle.
Like for the kind of weird girl who likes to like cross-dress for toys.
Which just happens all the time, like that like, Harry Potter action figure or whatever. The Harry Potter doll. The one that's
they would always do that though. The guys would always be wearing the girls' clothes.
Yeah, that's just the way kids work, man.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely like pivotal stuff. Like I still remember like Mario 64. Well, actually, even like Super Mario World was such a leap from NES to the next generation because it looked and felt like you were playing a cartoon. Mm-hmm. Which games like that and like the Tiny Toons adventure games were like, it was such a difference. And when you didn't own it and you saw someone playing it, or I still remember that moment. I was walking through a Toys R Us and they had like a kiosk, you know, like the Super Nintendo, and Super Mario World was on it. Mm-hmm. And we were still, you know, playing our original Nintendo with our Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, our Little Mermaid, our friggin' Mario Bros, Mario 3, and just seeing that cartoon world with the bouncy music was like, this is amazing.
Yeah, I remember the first
like,
time we played
and it wasn't even like, I had no concept of better graphics. It was just, this is better. Mm-hmm. Oh my god, it's amazing. It's so colorful. Yeah. I need this. You know, and then how Mario 64, even to this day, is still such a good 3D adventure game.
I feel so excited.
It's just the environment, the sounds, the worlds, the colors. Like a lot of the newer games don't really do that. Like I'm not like thinking back, oh, Gears of War, the gray, dark colors and the violence. It doesn't hold the same kind of thing for me. But as far as like a medium, like I always remember, I feel like the one thing I saw at the right time was Avenue Q. Because I saw that when I was the exact same age as like the character, and I just graduated, and the whole performance is about graduating and not knowing what you want to do. And I was like, I identify with this so much. Yeah. And there's that one song, I wish I could go back to college, that to this day I still tear up when I hear it.
It's a sad song.
It's such a powerful piece. Like if you haven't gone to see Avenue Q yet, definitely check it out.
It's it's something I think a lot of people can identify with, where it's like in college you felt like you knew what was happening, you're at the top of your game. And then it's like you come out into the real world and you're like, huh?
Yeah.
But it's like if you went back to college now, it's like...
Who are you? You're just some old guy.
Just an old guy coming
back and curbing this style. You're this failure.
You won't recapture what you had. So it was something that a lot of us would... Yeah,
it's very sad.
When I saw it too, I was like, oh.
Yeah, because you can't go back. Well, you can, but it's different though.
You know, like I missed my years at Sheridan because it was like just awesome people, you know, just learning new things and drawing every day. And I was like... This is the best, and then
because like you're going back with expectations of what things are going to be once you get out again, you know, as opposed to going in fresh where you're just like, oh, it's this new world and
you kind of needed
this
to be
freedom.
At that time.
Yeah, and it's like so Avenue Q is one of the few things that like really stick with me because of that, and I'm like, oh, and man, that song kills me. Ugh. Yeah. Perfect. And the other thing I think I mentioned before was like there's no other musical I really identify with. Like I don't identify with Raoul's Problems.
I don't really identify with Les Mis.
Yeah, I'm like I haven't really ran a revolution anytime soon.
I haven't really had any kind of problems.
You know, So it was kind of nice to have a contemporary musical, which usually they're just kind of like the little indie stage theater stuff that doesn't really like you never see because it's like. Over at the community theater, you never go there.
Well, you could go there.
You could.
You just don't.
No, I don't. But hey, if you guys have nothing that has that effect on you, I guess we can wrap things up. Because it's about 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
The book, of course. It's the Kingdom, right?
It is.
It's good stuff. It's not available physically anymore. We're all out. We're done. But you can get digital versions.
Yes.
We got TV Nursing. Spirited Away was the first Miyazaki film I ever saw.
You know what? We went to see that in college.
I stayed to watch it after school when my high school animation teacher put it on a projector. It's a pretty pivotal moment in my development. There you go.
I think Mononoke for me was one of those ones where I was like...
Well, because it was the first anime we saw in theaters.
And there was so much weight
like, that
to
never
it.
happened before.
There was a lot of
it was such a good film.
deep industry versus nature messages where it was just like...
No true villains,
and
people trying
I
to get by.
Yeah, I loved it because there wasn't really a bad guy. Yeah. And I hadn't really seen
Everyone just has their own ways of doing things.
Because even, really like, I love Iron Giant, but even in Iron Giant, there's, like, you know, the agent who's kind of a dick.
Yeah, I never agreed with that ending of Iron Giant. It was really dumb.
In Mononoke, but it's like that guy was clearly
he was super villain dick. He was like cartoon, like not to like be derogatory to the term, but like
I mean they still played him comedic, but there were some parts where I was like, this is kind of awkward.
He was just good until the very end when it was just like I think they could have played it better. They just tried to make him like a bad cowardice character. I'm like, don't.
Country.
Like he had intentions to protect his country. That there's a friggin' giant robot killing machine in your country, and you got to figure this crap out.
As soon as it's a real giant robot, he's like, I hate America.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is kind
I'm going to Canada. I'm a draft dodger. And I'm just like, where did this come from?
Yeah.
It's kind of weak sauce. Even like the delivery of the line is like out of nowhere. It's just like, screw dying. I'm leaving. It's like, no, we're all gonna die together like Americans. So I'm just like,
all right.
I'm like, they really shoehorned it in there. I didn't like that ending. Everything else was good, but yeah, Mononoke is honestly one of my favorite movies of all time.
You know what? Okay, I gotta say too, though, going back to it, that movie was a pivotal one for me because I think we went to see it.
Was it a birthday? Or?
No, it was like I think I was 18 or something, and I was at the house just kind of chilling. And Dad was like, "Oh, let's go see this," and I was, for whatever reason, I was like, maybe I was 17. I was like, I don't want to see a cartoon, just because it's like I saw the commercials and I didn't like the look of it.
Yeah, we mentioned before the Iron Giant was never marketed properly. It was trying to be like this boys' action film. It was actually like a very heartfelt. We were going to see.
I was like, I don't want to go see some dumb robot movie. But then it's like I really was invested and I really fell for the characters and I freaking cried in that movie. And it was kind of at that moment like I was still figuring out colleges, and that's when I was like, I really want to do animation because I really want to work on something like this someday. Because people have their films, and it's like, you know, I really liked Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast when it came out, but it was Iron Giant that made me like, I want to work in animation. You know, I want to meet Brad Bird someday. Be like, I like your movie.
Hey, Brad Bird, you make a good movie.
You make a pretty good movie.
Uncle Susan, I can never go back to college, but I am going to the Pixar Learning Conference in Melbourne this year.
Melbourne.
So you can always learn. Creepy saying I need to get into some figure drawing class. Seriously saying the music of Miyazaki's film is magic.
They're beautiful.
People saying, but I'd really like to learn sequential art, and it's not just available around here as far as I know. So internet time.
Internet does help with a lot of stuff. There's a lot of info out there.
Yeah. All right, well, it's 10:02. We talked quite a bit. Yeah, we should eat some discount chocolates. Cool. Thank you guys for joining us this episode. Of course, we'll be back on track next week on Thursdays, 8 o'clock, as normal. People still talking about robots and Monokes, but...
I love Secret of the Kells, too.
I haven't watched that yet. Yeah, next week. Is there anything coming up? Any events?
Let me check my handy-dandy calendar.
If you're in Toronto, this next coming right night is going to be on Wednesday instead at 7 o'clock. We'll be at the CSI Annex. Check that out if you can, or you can check it out on Facebook. I can post a link or something. It's still a closed group. We have to approve people for joining, but otherwise you should be able to find it right night. Maybe.
If you're in Toronto, I know every Sunday there's the Subway Sketch Crawl.
Bobby Chew.
Run by Bobby Chew. I don't know if he still goes to them, but it's his crew that I think runs it. So if you go Subway Sketch Crawl Toronto, they'll tell you where to meet. It's usually around 3:30 p.m. at Union Station. And you know what? I still haven't made it to one of those because I'm always busy on Sundays. I'm always doing something.
Someday.
But I would like to go. Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, like another episode, the big old episode of Guys with Pencils is coming up. Is it the 99th is happening or the 100th is happening?
I think 99 is Scott C, and then it's 100.
Okay, 99th episode. Check out Guys with Pencils, of course. Then the big 100th episode's happening. That'll be exciting. Yeah, I got nothing.
Oh, I guess it's my job to...
Yeah, I have no control of this show. We'll see you guys next week, of course. 8 o'clock, Thursdays. Yes. Assuming nothing else interrupts.
Alright, guys. Ciao.
Watch
happy
good
Discount
stuff.
Chocolate Day.
Yes, happy Discount Chocolate to all. Hopefully your stores are still open.
Yeah.